Hey, welcome back to Not Cool in High School podcast. If this is your first time, we are glad to have you here. Otherwise, welcome back. This is episode 103. Our big topic tonight is the Muppets. I'm super excited for this topic. They're a personal favorite of mine, presently and growing up. Want to go around and let everybody know whose voices is who? Still doing that?
Yeah.
Okay, because last time you just left me on screen, and I was just like, but now I'm not getting screwed over this time.
Got him.
Yeah.
This is Anthony. Or Tony. Sorry, there's two Anthonys at the table.
Yeah.
I'll take the moniker
Anthony
of
1 and
Tony.
2.
Yeah.
I'm
Tony.
Heidi. I'm Kelly.
I'm Anthony.
Nikolai?
Did you say I'm a Heidi?
Yeah, that's what
I mean, it's
thought.
correct.
I'm a Heidi. I didn't say a Heidi, but
I'm Andy, but
I
it
am.
sounded like you said you're a Heidi, but that's still right.
Yeah, that's what I heard too,
'Cause
and I was
you
like,
are.
okay,
Yeah.
we're just gonna go with it.
She
That's
is
our
a
pen
Heidi.
name. A dot Heidi.
I'm gonna change all my social media accounts.
I mean, to be
A
fair,
Heidi.
we are all a the name.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
I don't know about you guys, but like when I meet another Nikolai, I get super excited. I mean, it's a rarer thing, but just the fact that there's another one out there, I'm like, we exist.
I only know one other one, and that's Nikolai Volkov.
Yeah.
That's not everyone I've met.
Yeah.
I've only met one.
I met a lot of
Heidi.
Tonys and
Yeah.
Anthony's, so I don't get that.
Yeah, that's more. That's a more common name.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of Kellys, and most of them are all ending in an I. So I feel
Really?
special.
Wow.
I don't know why.
Interesting. That's
Yeah.
weird.
You ever meet a guy named Kelly?
Yes,
I
I had a
did
patient
once.
that was a guy named
Wow.
Kelly. Yep.
I know it was a popular name years ago. probably
Everyone
like
always
60s.
spells my name wrong, and I've never seen it another way.
Hidee.
H-I-D-Y,
phonetically
H-Y-D-I, everything.
Oh boy.
All right. So why don't we kick it off with some news? I'll start it off, and then we can go around. My news is Fright Rags, particularly. They are re-releasing the Zombie versus Shark shirt. For those of you who don't know what that shirt is, it was the design anyway was seen in the movie This Is the End. And in the movie, it was a raglan. I'm not sure if they're going to re-release the raglan itself, but it is going to return as at least a T-shirt, and it is tomorrow. So if you're listening to this live, go get yours tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. before it sells out, because I'm sure that one's going to go. That's all I have.
I
for
got a
you.
text, but I must have deleted it from them.
For that?
Yeah. Yes. I
For the zombie?
For Fright Rags. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
didn't
So
get
if you,
one.
updates, yeah.
you'll get updates and stuff if you sign up for them.
I just got my I didn't think we ordered.
Yeah.
I told you I did.
I remember that because
Yeah. I was like, did you order the Night of the Living Dead thing? I seen people are getting it, and she's like, I don't think I
think.
did. And then
And I was like, I think. Yeah.
they show. Then she got her shipping information. I'm like,
Hmm.
she goes, I did get it. So that came in. It's the lunch pail that comes with the thermos, and then the 13 figures with the bonus George Romero.
glow in the dark figure.
Glow in
Yeah,
the
going
dark.
dark. Yeah.
Super
Uh,
cool.
And actually, weirdly enough, I looked at the date of when it was ordered because it had it on the form. It literally was almost less than a month away from being a year from the order.
Oh, yeah.
It did get pushed back several times just because of shipping issues and all that kind of stuff and manufacturing stuff. But I definitely was not disappointed, and I'm sure no one else was that received both those products as well.
It is cool.
Mhm.
I got some stuff here. Officially, Paramount are already revealed that Sonic 3 is already in development.
And 2 ain't been out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unless 2 really bombs, you're getting a 3.
And not only getting a 3, but we're getting a Knuckles TV series.
Oh, that's
Really?
cool.
Cool.
At Idris
On
Elba.
Paramount.
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, Idris Elba.
That's one of the streaming services. Like, okay, I'm at max. I can't take any more.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna watch it. I don't
I-
care if someone gives a password. I'm at max.
somebody who's in the chat hooked me up with some access to Paramount. I fucking love it. I've been watching Bar Rescue like it's going out
Oh
of
my
style.
God.
Yeah.
I hate that guy.
I'm gonna shut that shit down.
Oh, I hate
I
him.
think it's so fake, but I love it.
Shut it down.
It makes me think that every kitchen I go to in a bar or any restaurant is just fucking gross in the back.
Oh,
They
half the
probably
time
are.
it is.
Most of the time they
Yeah,
are. Yeah.
probably.
If
Yeah.
you've ever worked at one, you know.
Yeah.
And you know never send that food back. Never. Just take it.
I would
Mhm.
never.
Bill said he already has it in Raglan from the first run.
Ooh.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he got it.
I feel like
So-
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I
don't-
did not.
don't.
didn't get
So
the
I
text
have a
either.
picture of it on my phone. Obviously,
I
they
didn't get
can't
that
see it.
text.
But if they go to do Fright Rags Instagram, you will be able to see it.
Oh, it's a cool shirt.
Yeah.
One of the
Uh,
characters wears it during the movie, right?
Yeah.
I don't watch. it,
And
I hate
so-
those movies.
We talked to Ben a while ago about it when he was on the show, and they kind of like spoiled part of the movie for him. they're like, listen, we know we got the rights for this particular design and stuff from you, and they had talked about it being on a raglan and all that kind of stuff. But they're like, for the end of the movie when they all die, can we do it on a white one and have a silver design instead of it being like the multicolored and stuff? And he's like, sure, but now I know they die at the end.
Yeah.
Like, and this was
I remember
before
that.
like in pre-production and all that kind of stuff. So it's crazy that they were just like, oh yeah, let's just keep
Yeah.
pumping out information.
Like I
But
said, the no. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. I mean, I'm glad that they checked back with them, and it wasn't a surprise for Ben. I'm sure Ben wouldn't have cared either
Bill
way.
said he'll wear it to the Spring and Beer Sunday.
Awesome.
He'll wear it. Also, another movie that's already just got announced from Netflix. Netflix is getting a video game movie.
Ugh, video game movies
Why do I-
usually not good.
This
Sometimes
one,
they're good.
this one has been had a couple years of screen rights and bouncing back and forth, and it finally landed. It's getting produced.
What is it?
Mario.
Uncharted?
Would you
No,
kindly?
Mario.
Is your-
Bioshock.
Bioshock.
Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe if it's based on the first one.
Yeah, I don't. I think it's a
That'd be
cool. I think
cool.
it's a cool universe.
Is Chris Pratt? in it?
Uncharted looks good.
Uncharted. IGN gave it a 7. They said.
Is it out?
Yeah, I guess
Oh,
they seen
oh,
a
It's
thing.
coming out
Soon.
Friday, but I think
Okay.
they got early access to see it.
They said it's fun, but
He's Spider-Man. That's what you think.
no,
It's
the
pretty much Tom Holland Spider-Man
So
yeah.
as Nathan Drake.
Well, no, they said it's fun. It's a fun movie. It's got a good action. It's got good comedy. But I guess if you're a diehard fan of the movie series, you're going to. It's hard to see Sully
The
and
game
Drake
series.
as their ages because you expect to see Nathan Drake older and
Yeah.
Sully older, and it's
Hmm.
hard to visually wrap your head around that how young and different looking
Mhm.
they look. I guess. So you're
Yeah, I don't
but
think
if
you
you've
can-
never played the games,
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
because I've never played any of them.
I'm
So-
once again I don't.
They're good games.
It's hard
Yeah.
for me to
See?
turn my PlayStation on, but they were fantastic.
He
Games.
was.
Yeah, I like
He's Indiana
watching them. They're
Jones.
good.
Yeah.
That's
The only part about those games I didn't like is when every time you get to the end of the game, it turns supernatural and it kind of turns me off.
Okay.
Like
Mhm.
like the first one, you're looking for the curse of El Dorado, you're looking for El Dorado, and then all of a sudden, like these monkey demons are chasing you around, and you're like, oh,
So do you think they'll do that at the end of this movie, or do you
they
think they're
do
gonna
it
keep
in every
grounded?
single game.
Sure, but they
think they'll do
take
it in the movie?
liberties in
Yeah.
the movies and stuff. Do you think they're going to keep it game?
I think
Like-
I think you'll have some type of paranormal,
but there's
supernatural
there's
creatures.
always supernatural in Indiana Jones.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like face melting off. That's
That's very true.
supernatural.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think like when you're fighting thousands of them because that's the way level designs are,
Yeah.
it turns me off.
Oh, I didn't.
Like,
I didn't mind
like-
too. The blue demon people. or
the
whatever they were.
Yetis.
Yeah, was that what they were?
Yeah.
What? It's that Lost City or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't mind. It was a good game.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the only one I beat. So I can't say about
It's
that.
just tough. It was a tough sell for me, but I think they're really good games. We also got a movie trailer during this. We got a bunch of movie trailers during the Super Bowl, but the
Oh,
big one
yeah.
everyone's talking about, Doctor Strange.
So I heard it was only I didn't watch Super Bowl. I heard it was just like a snippet, and they were like,
Oh no,
"Double
it was
check
it was
YouTube."
Was a full trailer?
it was a full trailer.
Well,
See,
the full
I'm-
trailer came out on YouTube, but there was like a shortened version
Okay.
on TV,
Oh.
so it wasn't
Okay.
the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
I
was gonna say I totally missed it. There must have been too many kids running around or something at that moment, or I was getting something to eat.
So it shows a little bit what we've seen already at the end credits of Spider-Man, and then it dives into a little teaser of. I mean, it's the trailer's out, but
You can spoil a trailer. That's okay.
they
Sure.
There's no rules
clearly
on that.
tease Patrick Stewart as Professor
Yes.
Xavier.
Okay.
They show like his ear, and you hear, "Let's tell him the truth," and you could tell it's his voice. Then,
But is it a clip though? Because they can use a clip and then it'd be somebody.
well,
else.
then they
Says-
kind of go. Then
Because-
so if you're a comic book fan,
No,
it's,
I'm
it's,
not.
it's
When,
him,
yeah.
it's him in the classic like wheelchair too, like the hover wheelchair. Whatever
that's
you
the
wanna say.
rumor. That's all. They didn't show that in the trailer.
No,
You
they showed,
actually,
like a snippet of it. I
Yeah.
think.
But how
you-
old is Patrick Stewart?
he's up there.
Yeah, he's in his
Because if
70s.
you want to, if you're starting X-Men movies, you want to make them the next 20 years. Probably not going to cast Patrick Stewart.
Well,
I mean,
think,
he's great.
I think
right?
I
But,
think
like,
this is in
from
there
what
just to
and
just to
the
do the
cameo,
multiverse.
yeah.
It's a multiverse thing. But what I would do is I would recast the entire X-Men and just
So would
use,
I.
and just use the old stuff if you want to scratch that nostalgic itch because it seems to be that's the
You
same
can-
move. But
yeah, you can use them to pop over just for this movie, but then
I
Yeah.
volunteer. I volunteer right now.
yeah,
Volunteer
so
tribute.
Yeah.
they kind of show him going into the chamber where the Marvel Illuminati is, and they show all the chairs of where everybody would be. Then they show what looks like the Human Torch flying, but
That's what someone said. Yeah.
people are pausing it frame by frame.
Oh,
and,
God, I bet you
Evans.
they- yeah.
and when they pause it, it looks like Ultimate Iron Man
Oh, you know,
with
superior, yeah,
with the superior Iron Man with
yeah.
the white with the open face.
yeah.
And then now the rumor is that like when Tom Cruise said he was going to do this, he wanted to be a character that where his face is being seen the whole time
Yeah.
because that's his thing. So
Maybe,
everyone's
I
like,
believe
oh,
that.
he's probably going to play that Iron Man because his face is always
Yeah.
seen. During the trailer, he's being taken into custody by Ultron bots, and I believe that was like their main form of guards for that version of whatever the Illuminati is. So there's a lot of hints that that's going to be the case.
It's weird though. 'cause
Anthology.
2 Illuminati members do not exist yet.
Black Bolt. All right.
Well, no, 3 then. Black Bolt, Mr. Fantastic, Professor X.
Well, they have Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah,
If they
no, he
just
doesn't
use-
exist. yet.
Sure, he does.
No, he doesn't.
All of those other movies exist in this universe.
Yeah, well, maybe this one, but I mean, if they're doing new characters,
that's the rumor. They're
like,
gonna
why,
fucking.
why would this Doctor Strange know them?
he doesn't?
Yeah, he does. The other bad Doctor Strange.
Yes. So
which you could do that. That's fine.
yeah. So that was a rumor too that the old Mr. Fantastic was going to be in the movie. The one from
I
the
forget his name.
yeah. Well, he was gonna, and I guess he would play him.
Well,
Obviously,
probably because well, what's he doing?
yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just fucking. I just kind of would want them to make a fresh start. But if you're gonna do this whole thing, you're bring everyone back from the
I
fucking.
can't see him casting everyone because they want to make these movies long time.
Yeah.
You can't have Cyclops be 60.
Like I'm
And then
sorry.
I
Like
was-
I think Tobey Maguire was a cool. You had him for a couple moments. I don't want to watch another Spider-Man movie with him.
No, neither do I.
What?
I don't want to watch
Give
fucking.
me 6 more. I don't care.
I just
I'll
want.
take
And
it.
I want one young guy. What's his name?
I mean, we can like CGI everything now.
Ugh.
No, don't do that either. Definitely don't do that.
Don't do that.
Cancel his movie if that's the road we're going for. No CGI faces.
Yeah.
Unless people from the internet do it, because it seems like Hollywood can't figure it out.
What was that like
the
the
internet-
Irishman or whatever?
Yeah.
But the internet fucking nails it.
Sure.
Well, I seen people calling for Scott Eastwood to be the new Logan too, to be the new Wolverine.
Who's Scott Eastwood?
That's
Eastwood's
Clint
son.
Eastwood's
Oh,
son, and
okay.
he would
Hmm.
be excellent.
Is
at
he
it.
short?
No,
That
he's
and-
tall.
And
Oh,
Daniel Radcliffe.
that's wrong.
Movie magic.
You
Yeah.
can't. He needs to be short.
He could just
He's
stand on a
he,
box.
he would be excellent.
Well, they said Daniel
No,
Radcliffe.
Wolverine's supposed to be
Or
short.
the other person.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah,
Really?
Harry Potter. And then
No,
I was like,
as
well, he works
Wolverine?
out.
Have you
Wolverine.
seen
Tiny.
him in anything but Harry Potter though?
Yes,
Okay.
Woman in Black,
Okay.
and what was the
Horns?
other one?
Because-
Horns.
Swiss Army Man.
A lot of
Yeah,
people
no.
who jump in this, well, he's just Harry Potter,
No,
have not actually
I'm not,
seen
I'm not
him.
typecasting him, but
Okay.
I just can't see him as Wolverine. I can see Scott Eastwood. I can see
Yeah.
Tom Hardy as Wolverine, but I could never see him
They're all
as
tall.
Wolverine.
I say just get unknown people. That's
Yeah.
the best way to go. Unknown.
Well,
Yeah.
Scott
All
is
unknown.
Scott is kind
Yeah,
of
he's
still an
kinda
unknown.
unknown.
Like his dad
Eh.
never threw him into the.
Sure, but
He
if
got
your
that.
dad is
What the-
Clint Eastwood,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you got some.
You got
Yeah,
connections.
You
Yeah.
should, but he doesn't. If you think about it, he's not been in any major action movie.
Okay.
Yes, Suicide Squad, but he was like a B-roll character.
Sure.
He was Cannonball. I think.
Didn't
or
he have a
Can-
great? Yeah.
Cannon.
Speaking of Cannonball, didn't he have a great hit song written about him? Isn't that the same guy?
Scott?
No, that's
Oh, that's-
Liam Hemsworth.
That's the Helmsworth.
Yeah, that's Hemsworth. No,
That's
don't- I don't-
Thor's brother.
Here's the thing.
Whoops.
Scott Eastwood is much better looking than Liam Hemsworth. Jeez. Anyways, go on.
I just was saying that if he really wanted to be in the forefront, he'd be like, "Dad, I want this part."
Dad had came out and said, "I will
Yeah.
not do anything for you. You
I
have to
know
make
they-
it on your own."
I know they say that.
I'll get
Hey,
on stage
yeah, in
and I'll
public.
talk to a
Yeah.
chair. You damn chair.
But also too, like if I was a director, right, and I was a big Clint Eastwood fan, and I knew I would never be able to meet him, I would hire his son and give him the lead role so I could meet his dad.
You hear it there?
Yeah.
Nicola has no ethics.
You
heard
got
it.
that right. In the acting world, you don't need him. Listen, Spielberg, if you're watching, I will do my first movie lead for free.
There you go.
Have me for free.
Well, you
Cost
know
nothing.
what you're gonna have to do, right?
What?
Be
That's secret.
naked.
That's secret Hollywood elite.
The blood.
They're gonna do a lot to you.
The baby blood.
Here we go.
You're gonna
Well,
have to-
what movie is it? That's
You're gonna have
first.
to-
Let's get some
Listen,
info.
whatever's gonna make me the next Leonardo DiCaprio, I'll do for free.
There you go.
That you want
that's a bold-
25-year-old
that's a-
girlfriends
that's a
all
bold-
throughout your life.
It's a
I'm gonna
bold
still
statement.
look 25 when I'm 60, so it's fine.
You are.
It's a bold statement. They're gonna take you to Bohemian Grove.
Take me.
And then
Take me.
they're gonna make you do things,
Listen,
Stuff and things.
stuff, and
You're gonna have
things.
to do stuff and things.
They're gonna
stuff
make
and
you run
things.
around in the nude.
listen. The way
No.
Don't forget us
technology
little
works,
people.
they'll just put my face. You could fake it.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
really
Oh,
want to.
you're gonna have to. You won't be faking it.
No, I
if
don't
they-
have to. But if something bad were to ever happen, actors kind of like win out because it's like, oh, it's just faked.
Yeah.
Like, oh, because there's people on the internet who put their face on as Tom Cruise
Mhm.
and has an entire TikTok account
Why'd
as
you pick
their face as Tom Cruise
Mhm.
and all these other celebrities, and
There's apps. that
they're
do that now.
they are like super well done. So it's
Wow,
not out of the question.
baby.
Yeah. All right. Any other news?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I thought it was a show, but it might be a
It's
movie.
a movie, I think.
Yeah, coming to Netflix next week, the 18th. I'm excited.
Netflix looks like it has a good thing of movies and shows and stuff
Mhm.
coming out this year from that Super Bowl ad, at least.
They got to do something. They sucked last year. The only thing they really had was comedy specials that were the big things they talked about.
Yeah.
TV shows they do fine, but like movies,
Movies, they lack in a little bit. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of their tactic when I go to the theater and I see a trailer and then at the very end it's like Netflix only. I'm like, why the fuck did you put this on
Yeah, that is
while
weird.
I'm in the theater?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
they shouldn't
Don't
do
look
that.
up. I went to the theater to go see something, and that was one of the trailers. I was like,
That's
why?
weird.
are they still waiting to go? They want you to still buy Netflix.
I get that.
But why would the theater put that?
Don't
Yeah.
show
They don't.
me
They don't
people
have
a
the theater doesn't have say of what is in the
No,
previews.
No.
Well, I mean,
can
not the theater, like the
guarantee
movie
Cinemark
people.
has
Yeah.
every right to be like across the board. We're not putting a Netflix trailer in.
They
Like,
have
why
no
would
say
any
in that.
movie like blockbuster, like big
Because
movie
that takes
like
away
that?
from their
Even
So
business.
if you own,
even if they did have a say, wouldn't you think they just want the money? To just
Yeah,
give
they
me the
probably
ad
do.
money.
They probably
you know what I
just want
mean?
the
'Cause
money.
they're
if you own
struggling.
if you own a rival wrestling company and I pay for a time slot on your network to promote my show, you as the show have no say on what commercials are played during your show.
Okay, but as a theater,
Mhm.
But some theaters get different trailers. though.
streaming
How does that work?
services hurt you.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
why would you
Yeah, advertise the
Put-
competition.
go home and watch it instead of
yeah.
because then they also have a trailer in there where it's a really tiny screen and they're like, don't watch these movies on this tiny screen, and they bring it up and they're like, watch it how it was made to be watched,
But then watch
in
it on the
theater.
screen.
and then say
But go watch
on
it at
Netflix."
home.
Makes no sense.
Eat this candy, but don't
It
eat it
doesn't.
for a marked up price at 80%.
I mean that's whatever.
Fuck movie theaters. Until they bring back my fractal, I boycott all of them forever. Fuck it.
We didn't for no Spider-Man No Way Home. We still went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't go.
You didn't go, no.
He boycotted.
I've only seen 2 movies since the theater closed.
Oh,
How long's it been?
That's
3
how I
years?
always see my movies.
Yeah, I haven't
I was
seen
there the
many
other day.
either.
3 years, 4
I
years.
haven't
I think go
seen
see Jackass.
Yeah, I still gotta go see that too.
I heard it was funny.
It's actually
I
what
didn't
I've
scream
read
yet either.
from different like things. They said it's the best rated Jackass movie out of all of them.
Wow.
How many was there?
There's quite a
4
few.
Wow.
if you don't include Bad Grandpa as
No, that's a movie.
Well, they have
That's a room.
Yeah.
because that's like a
Ah,
spinoff.
it's a
It's a what?
movie.
Oh wait, no, I was thinking.
The De Niro one.
Dirty Grandpa.
Yeah, no, what's the one with
Bad
no,
Santa.
Bad Grandpa is the one with
He
Knoxville
does.
dressed
He
as-
does.
No, I was
skits and he
thinking
fucks
Bad
with
Santa.
Yeah, Bad
Oh,
Santa.
Bad Santa.
He
Yeah.
does skits and fucks with the
Okay.
public, but
Okay,
there is an overline movie to it too.
Oh, is it a story?
But it's also just him, right? It's
Him
not
and the little
everybody
kid.
else. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not
Well,
like
no,
the whole
Jeff
crew.
Jeff Tremaine plays the his wife that
Oh,
dies.
yeah.
But they
It's not
play
like the crew.
characters
Yeah.
within that movie. It's
They're
not
not themselves.
Knoxville is
Well,
not.
Irving was a character that spawned from Jackass,
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
like that
Yeah.
old man Irving.
Sure.
Yeah.
I know
But I
that
would
part,
take
but
that
I
as
mean
a
like
spin-off. I would. It's not like
Yeah.
Jack.
And then they also had the point 1 or 1.5,
Yeah.
2.5, 3.5.
but they also did that with Spider-Man originally too.
Really?
There were DVD releases of
Yeah,
like
they- I
2.5 and
have
all that
one.
stuff. So
Was it more movie?
They did that with X Men too.
kinda.
There's X Men 1.5.
I know they did the road cut.
It's like when they added
Hmm.
different.
no, they
deleted scenes.
specifically wrote 1.5. It wasn't like a special cut or
Oh.
anything. Yeah. So they're not. the
Sorry,
first
Bill. I'm
ones.
trying to get to here. Yeah, he said I need to see Jackass 2. He said this Friday, Heidi. I don't know what that means. What are we doing this Friday?
Probably Texas Chainsaw.
I'm working Friday. Yeah, this Friday, the
Oh,
18th.
this Friday, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
When I come home, I'll probably start it. I'll watch it.
You have to figure that people who are now reviewing the movies Jackass, so the people who are
Oh.
now reviewing movies grew up on Jackass. They're giving it a fair shake.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It is pretty interesting to see. Well, real quick, speaking of news, is that our generation kind of had us like, depending on what generation you fall into, as how you like or dislike the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah.
If you're 30 or 39 to 40 and up, you're like, I didn't like it. And if you're fucking 20 or
If
20,
you're 25 and under, you're
25 and under, you're like, I don't
Yeah.
know who any of these people except Kendrick Lamar are. Yeah.
I feel like from like 30 to 40
Yeah.
or like 45, maybe. It's like the
Or you generally don't like hip hop, or you're
That's
just
where I would fall.
Okay.
or you're just
Yeah.
extremely prejudiced and you don't like black culture.
I don't know hip hop and stuff, but I know who 50 Cent and Eminem is.
Sure, they're
Yeah.
like they're
50
iconic
Cent,
icons.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
from the video game.
Yeah.
I know. I hate Eminem, so I know that.
You
You
don't want.
hate
I
him?
hate Eminem. I hate
Why?
the sound of his voice.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Oh.
punch him in the face. That's my statement on it.
all right.
Remember that time he said he didn't know Elton John was gay? Remember that?
No.
No.
Forget that part. He did a song with him, and then someone said, "Why'd you do a song with him if you got this song that you're trashing gay people?" I didn't know he was gay.
He did have a lot of homophobic stuff in his.
Oh yeah, he had tons of homophobic
Yeah.
stuff. But he also grew up at a time where he was like when people
Yeah,
were
it was-
saying
yeah,
homophobic
yeah.
stuff, but they didn't actually mean it to be homophobic. They
I
were-
bet they did,
They did, but they didn't.
because he's about my age, and they meant it.
So when you grew up and like you said you didn't like something, how did you describe it?
Yeah, yeah. People said gay, but they meant it. Like, yeah, gay is bad.
I don't think they did.
Yes, they did.
I honestly don't. I think it was just a term used to just like describe if you don't like something. I don't
know.
agree with it. I had to prevent myself from doing
Yeah.
it as well. But I just think it was so thrown around. I don't think it was.
Maybe.
I don't think it was meant to.
I
I don't
think
think it was
some
directed
people-
to say like,
Some people still say it today.
Like, yeah,
Mhm.
because that it's hard. Some people like still say,
I know. But like there's this one guy that talks to me at work, and he says stuff. I'm like, you better watch what you're saying nowadays.
yeah.
But
No,
he-
I agree. Listen.
Mhm.
I had to change my words because that's fucking. What's for dinner, mom? Fucking hamburger helper. You're like gay. You're like what? Like that makes no sense. But that's
Yeah.
the stupid shit we said.
Hey, there was a gay store in Ashland. It was the Yay store, GAY. Store.
Yeah, totally was.
Yes.
There was that. Oh,
And
that
then,
was
then
no-
it
Nose
turned
Gay
into the
Flower.
Y store. Yes.
Yeah, because the GA fell off.
But that was back in the 50s,
boy.
and then in the 50s it was kind of different. The gay store was meant
kind of how
happiness.
just kind
Yeah.
of how you insulted all your friends growing up too. Like that was the
I
slang.
don't think Eminem is homophobic though.
I mean, here's the thing.
I still hate him.
Here's the
though.
thing.
You don't like rap though.
No, I hate
Hip
rap.
hop culture
I just
and
think
rap
he-
culture has been very notoriously homophobic for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't really accept
Yeah,
homophobia.
yeah.
It's true.
I don't know. Has it changed now? Because I don't
No,
listen to
no.
regular rap.
Depends
or,
on-
like,
Depends
rap
on what
now.
genre of rap you're talking to. If you're
Yeah.
talking to new age rap, they're all for it, equality. You talk
Yeah.
to like some dudes that are more the harder side, they still like, nah, I don't play that shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't listen to any of it anymore, so I don't know where their stance is. I just wish he would have done another song. I know "Lose Yourself" is his big song.
But
I
I think
am-
that's why he did it.
I think he did
I'm
Lose Yourself
so
because
sick of that song.
what other song
Oh, I'm
what
not.
do you think he could have done up there?
Slim Shady.
Slim Shady.
I thought that's what they were doing
you
because
sure?
Slim Shady.
Do you know some of those lyrics?
no, it's probably bad.
Do you think
Well,
he would have got away with
he
some of
didn't
those?
do
Probably
all the
not.
song anyways. So if
He did
coulda-
he did the verses he can get away with on TV.
Yeah.
True, that's what they probably all did.
So I
That's
think I
probably
know
why
a
they cut
reason
it all
why.
out.
Maybe.
Well, no,
Because
but-
even Snoop Dogg and Dre were editing their lyrics
Yeah.
to fit TV.
I thought they were going to though, because when Kendrick Lamar did his, they were all like bleach blonde, and I was like, here it comes.
that was funny. I mean, the party I was at was everybody was like, "Well, who the hell is he?" I'm like, "Don't look at me because I don't know that one either."
Kendrick he's been heavily influenced by that generation, and he did a song for Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Anthony?
So with Eminem, I think I know why he did Lose Yourself. I think it's because this year is the 20th anniversary since the movie came out.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So it would make sense for him to do that
Yeah.
for Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Did he have
Like
the
me.
the dog puppet, the pit bull? or whatever it
No.
is? No, that's sad.
Yeah.
It's the
I-
only
I
thing I
did-
remember.
I did pop hard.
Well, that
for
wasn't an
50
Eminem
came out.
thing.
I remember him showing up in their videos.
Yeah, but that was an actual comic.
I know.
Yeah. Who
Oh, what?
Triumph.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
That
Triumph.
was-
I would,
Oh,
I would
that
watch
dog.
the show if Triumph did
that
it.
wasn't exclusive to Eminem.
No, but I'm saying he made
Wasn't he-
appearances
wasn't
with
he ex-
Eminem and stuff. So
Fucking
Exclusive
dog
to
and
Comedy
puppet
Central.
Yeah. Oh, comment.
I-
He,
He was on.
always
He was
saw
on
him
Conan
on-
O'Brien.
I saw him a lot on Comedy Central. I
And then-
remember.
I don't know what-
MTV. He showed up at a movie.
Yeah,
Awards.
he
Yeah,
got
yeah.
real
He
popular.
showed up in
Yeah,
the
the awards,
Muppets.
right?
Yeah, he was in the
Speaking
Muppets.
of the Muppets, he
Yeah,
shows up in the Muppets.
Triumph, the insult dog.
Uh-huh.
I have his comedy album on
Oh
CD.
my god!
Yeah.
I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah,
Any other?
News. Oh, Reacher on Amazon Prime that already got renewed for a season 2. So
Okay.
if anybody likes Reacher out there, I'm working my way through it, but I like it so far, and you're gonna get a season 2.
All right.
Much
Anthony?
better than the Tom Cruise. Sorry.
Uh,
Anthony.
Two things. There's going to be possibly from the same director from Uncharted that they're going to be doing a Jack and Daxter movie which I'm actually really excited
I just
for
think
that.
actors are saying they would want to do it. I don't think it's been greenlit or anything.
I think the director is in talks to do it now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it would make sense because since the same
If it
company
inspires
that
them to
made
make another fucking
Uncharted,
video game, I'll do it.
I never played that game.
They're
You know
good.
what? You'll
Yeah, they're
probably
good.
never get one
with
because they're like all your resources only go to that game. They only go to Naughty Dog. Only makes fucking 2 games. They make Uncharted and they make The Last of Us.
The Last of Us.
Yeah.
with that, like what I hope for out of Uncharted, that there's an Easter egg for Jack and Daxter, because in the first game I remember I'm collecting all the collectibles and stuff, and I noticed from Jack and Daxter one of the precursor orbs that you collect as like one of the things to help you get through the worlds and stuff as a collectible. I was like, I hope this is in the movie. As
That'd be
like
cool.
he just finds it and he's like, I don't know what that is, and like maybe throws it or
Yeah.
something.
Oh yeah.
Do
This
a
is like a
spot
little
kind of
joke.
like the Clash of the Titans when they remade that. So there was an original Clash of the Titans in the 70s where they had the mechanical owl. That's what Athena gives them
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
she didn't want to
That
give him
looks
her real
cool,
boo boo
Yeah.
and boo boo. And then in the remake, he finds that original mechanical owl in like a chest somewhere, and the guy's like, "Leave that. We don't need that hunk of junk." And he like throws it. I'm like, "Not boo boo."
Mhm.
I know.
The Clockwork Owl.
I loved him.
All right. Well, let's dive into our topic.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Wow, there's a lot of pressure now because
Yeah.
this is I think it's my first topic.
Your first
Really?
topic.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
You
think
gonna
so.
light the lights?
You're a big
I
boy.
am. We're gonna light the lights.
They're
Get things
already-
started.
They're already lit up.
Yeah.
Already burning.
But first, I want to say why I picked the Muppets.
Okay.
Because
Because you like to fuck puppets.
so
Wow, that's
Hey, no,
Jesus
as
Christ.
my nephew
Two-
once said to me, no kink shaming. You're not gonna kink shame
Do
nobody
you?
on this.
so that's a hard question or thing to throw out because
He did not
No.
deny it. Just
all
throw it
right.
out
So
there.
listen,
I-
Don't deny it.
I thought Janice was cute when I was a kid, but I was a stupid kid. I didn't understand that Muppets and humans were different.
I mean, do you?
I didn't like Miss Piggy because she reminded me of my
There's-
mom.
What are they
So,
called now? Furries.
yes.
Furries.
I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know if that would.
furries. Well,
I'll go
furries
with
is
Muppets,
like,
though.
yeah, furries are
I
like,
mean, if they're
maybe the
dressed
big
as
hairy
a
guy.
Muppet,
It's a
maybe,
gateway
I don't
drug.
know.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
But anyway, the reason why I didn't stop you during that is because I realized doing this research how much the Muppets have influenced my life. One, there's a lot of music and like Broadway-esque kind of things throughout their things, and I'm really big into the musical side of things. So they probably influenced that, growing up. And I did a show when I went to Bloomsburg. It was my first semester there, and they were doing a show called Avenue Q, which is all about Muppet style puppets, but it's more of an adult show.
Hmm.
It's kind of like an adult version of Sesame Street. And I got to play one of the lead roles, Princeton, who's on his journey to find his purpose in life. But then I also got to, in the same production, play another character named Rod. And it was interesting getting to puppet one character on stage, but having to voice 2 or 3, depending on if the other characters came out, and kind of seeing how that worked and stuff.
Hmm.
So I feel like I wouldn't have pushed as hard to be in that show and chose Bloom if it wasn't for my love of the Muppets.
Yeah.
But the reason why I didn't stop you is because in Avenue Q, Princeton has sex with another puppet.
Whoa.
And
Ah.
Since they're both puppets, I did have
wow.
to have puppet sex.
There you go.
So
Was it good?
it was
Bucket list,
wonderful.
check.
It
Yeah.
was velvety, like they say in Happy
Yeah.
Time Murders.
Did you spray silly string out?
No, we did not spray silly string. But that was really funny, actually. But before we also get into our topic, we do need to handle some business on the Muppets.
Handle.
So yesterday we did, well, actually for the past week and a half, we did a bracket on who our favorite Muppet is. And there was such a great response.
Tournament.
It was great. Right. This tournament. Right. And I checked the numbers this morning and I found out that our finalists, Kermit and Animal, were tied. So we did a re-round of it. And guess what?
Tied again?
They tied
Oh,
again.
shit.
So, Andy, we all voted.
Yeah.
You were the only one who did not vote.
Well,
So you are the deciding
I gotta
factor.
vote for Kermit. 'Cause I'm
All
like,
right, so then
Animal's
Kermit-
okay.
Is our winner.
Kermit wins.
Uh,
Winner.
I
Kermit
will
wins.
post
Wow.
the photos
How about
then.
that?
But Kermit, yes.
I
is
thought
the
somebody else
winner.
would be an animal.
Honestly, I thought Bean was going to take it all. Like after he moved past that first round, I was like, Bean could win. Maybe, like just as a joke thing, to like people just vote for Bean.
Bean
Yeah.
shows up in the 70s show at near the end.
Mhm.
'Cause
Yeah.
I bought my mom all the seasons.
Yeah.
And he's in one of the like last seasons.
So Kermit is our winner. I figure before we start like talking about the history and all that kind of stuff, just kind of go through and say who our favorite Muppet is. I
Oh my God!
I know Heidi
can't
hates the
pick favorite
Muppets.
I
anything.
don't
No,
hate them, but I'm not. I didn't really
then-
like watch
then
it
just
that
say
much.
pass.
yeah, you don't have to.
For it.
I just figured, you know, for content purposes and stuff, we just
I don't.
Well,
have-
before we read those, I wanted to
Sure.
quick do a little plug here for ourselves. So we do have a Patreon for people who will do would like to support that. It is $1 to $25. We have a bunch of tiers. Anything over $10 is a chance to win a free T-shirt. I still am going to do that. I swear to God. I've just been so busy with this new job and getting everything situated. I will pull a winner very soon. Plus, I'm kind of waiting for my first paycheck so I can pay for your shirt. So I want to say thank you to Ryan Vox, David S., Brett Squared, Bridget M., Andrew H., Greg R., Heidi B., Ryan G. from the Fuel by Haas podcast, Kelly from Crystal Mountain Healing, Tommy B., Tree of Life Metaphysical, Brad Z., Higher Than Other Words, and JH. So thank you all for the Patreon support. If you would like to support our Patreon, check our links below, and our link tree will take you right to our Patreon, as well as all social media links, and also our links to our merchandise page. I did just change up our link tree, so it's a little it's a little fancy. If you click the merch, it actually shows you some of our merch there. If you
Oh,
click
yeah?
the newest episode, it pulls up, it takes you right to our Spotify. If you click YouTube, if you're not subscribed, the first thing it asks you is, do you want to subscribe to this channel?
that's great.
So we can get to that 1K a little faster. So go check out that link tree. Also, the very bottom, you get to see the rest of the network. So you can click the network link and it'll take you to all those shows, as well as our amazing sponsors, as well as Cabana Entertainment is also on there. So you can go support them. That's all I got.
Did anybody comment on the post that you made about
Which
picking a cat like cat?
No, no one said
just
who
looked, I
we
didn't
would.
see it.
I did. I
Be
said
as
you're
Muppets.
I said you're Beaker.
I totally missed this.
I
What
didn't
was
see
this
it.
post? No, I didn't see it.
Oh, so I posted with
Nikolai just snipe posts. He just puts stuff out and doesn't tell anyone he does it.
no, I posted on all the platforms. They're there.
Yeah.
But because we talked about like, did we promote tonight's episode just to
Yeah.
kind of be like as a reminder? So I put out with the one that said the Muppet Show on it. Part of the thing at the end was, while you guys wait for tonight's episode, recast the Muppets using our cast, and tell us what Muppet you think would be best to play. I did not see anybody
Yeah,
make
I
a
didn't see
comment
it.
on
I
any
shared
of
it
that,
too, and no one.
but they did the tournament like,
Here's
super
the thing.
fast.
There you
Yeah,
So I
we,
was like,
we see the picture, and this is me though. See the picture, I read the first two lines, and then I'm out. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm a scanner and an out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine.
Like,
I have no
offense.
problem with it. But if you do in the comments want to tell us what Muppet you think we would make,
Come on,
to
Bill.
play,
Yeah,
feel
man,
free
Bill.
to throw them in the
Bill's
comments.
in the chat. He's the only one talking to us right now. So, Bill, you pick which one of us represent what you think, what Muppet represents us on the show.
There you go.
There you go. We'll let Bill do it. Bill has
Okay.
the power.
Either that, or we go around and do it like all of us do it, just quick, and not explain why.
I mean, I didn't really think about it.
I've
for
been told
me.
the Eagle and the old guys. So Sam the Eagle, and then Walter and Statler for whatever. it
Yeah, I
is.
definitely think I see Walter for you.
I don't know the
You're
difference. I
definitely
don't know
one
which
of the
one's
old
which.
guys.
Yeah.
I don't know which one's which anymore either.
I don't know either.
So Statler is the tall, thin one,
Oh,
and
okay.
Waldorf is the kind of short.
With the mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weren't they supposed to be? They were Roger and Ebert. They were kind of
Kinda like spoofing, yeah,
on,
Siskel and
playing on
Ebert.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, Siskel.
Trying to
Alright.
think who Nikolai is.
What?
Trying to think who Nikolai.
Oh, I was like,
You're the guy.
Scooter.
don't tell
Yeah,
me.
Scooter.
Damn it.
Scooter.
No one likes Scooter.
I don't know which one.
You or your brother are Scooter. You're
I don't know
very
which one that
close.
is.
Well, somebody got to be Skeeter.
Yeah.
Even though Skeeter wasn't in the 70s show. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think she was the only Muppet baby, and then she was.
We'll give
actually-
you Bean. You could be Scooter.
I was gonna say I'll take Bean.
You could
Yeah.
be
Scooter.
one of the male pigs that put with the pigs in space. They have
Yeah.
names. But
Who's Kelly?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't have to be a woman either, so
yeah.
I mean,
I won't be
usually,
offended if you tell me I'm.
Well, there is
Fozzie
only
or
like
Rolf.
two women.
Yeah.
yeah. I see you're either the blonde with the no nose and the big lips.
So that's
or you're,
Janice. That's the one I liked.
or you're Miss Piggy, because that's the only two female characters.
No,
with
That's
big
not
I
lips.
don't need to
true.
be- I don't need to be
It's
a
not true at
female.
all.
No,
There are
was
several
there was
more.
Camilla.
Yeah, you made
too.
me
Yeah.
Beaker.
She
She,
was a
could be a
female
boy.
chicken.
You're only bigger because when you get upset, you try to talk to me.
There you go.
No, she's like,
She turns her head up.
And I was like, try again,
Please don't-
Beaker. Stop
please don't say
crying.
Miss Piggy for me.
I don't know for Kelly. I
I'm
don't know.
not that narcissistic.
You could be.
He said we're all Beakers.
You could be. What's his name? Dr. Teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Bill, check this out. This came in.
Dr. Teeth. That's what you.
I don't even know all of them. Like I was trying to like participate,
weird that
but
you
I
don't-
was like, I don't know half of
That you
them.
never learned it through pop culture because there's
Yeah.
people think
Yeah.
I know that I've never seen episode, but I
So,
can tell you like
Like I've seen some of the movies when I was
Yeah.
a kid, but I just never really. I don't know.
I learned about a new Muppet that's not really new. Doing this research. His name's Chip. He's in the Muppet Show. Not the one from the 70s.
The new
one that's
NBC?
like the Office spoof.
yeah.
Yeah.
He shows up as the IT guy,
Mhm.
and I'm like, why? What is with this character? He's so weird and stuff. And then I watched some older movies and stuff, and I'm like, son of a bitch, he's there. I'm like, how did I not notice this random character before?
Son of a-
But is he a human Muppet? Like
He's
human
yes,
looking
he's a
Muppet?
human Muppet.
Okay. Like in the
I can-
movie where his brother's a Muppet, but he's a human.
Yes,
He's a
He
Muppet.
says, I'm Sweetums.
Chip IT.
Sweetums.
Sweetums.
I don't know who Sweetums is.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the big guy, like the big furry guy. With
Oh,
the
that's
big,
with the big the Bigfoot
he's
Oh.
essentially that.
with the big nose. Doesn't
Oh,
he hang
I
out
could
with
see
Bean a
that
lot?
with all
Yeah, he
with
hangs
your
out with
long
Bean.
hair and your beard.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
I
So-
don't know who Bean. Which one's Bean?
He's the
The
bunny
one
rabbit.
Bean's the bunny.
Oh,
so
the bunny.
this is Chip.
Oh,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god! I didn't realize that's
So-
what his name is.
Yes, so that is Chip. He
He's
does
a
this
weirdo.
weird
like that.
thing where his black eyes blink, but that's it. Like it's not the white; it's just the black. It like weirdly flickers. It's funny.
Egg head and just a little dollop of hair.
Well, let's get into the actual topic. So let's start doing the
This
history.
is part of the topic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was specifically going to bring Chip up because I was like, I've watched the Muppets like like for a long time and never noticed Chip. Now I go rewatch these movies and there's Chip.
Yeah.
Like, did they
Interesting.
did they just insert him?
maybe they
that-
might have.
They very well could have.
Well,
But
they just inserted Pepe at some point. He wasn't always there.
yeah, I guess what I mean is like, I remember Pepe being in the movies,
Yeah.
like straight across the board from a certain point. But Chip, I was like, oh, this is a new character when I started watching this, just because I was preparing for this episode. And I looked back and I was like, wait a minute, he's in other things that I've watched many, many times. How do I not remember this? But anyway, so let's start talking about some of the background. I kind of broke down like the ownership part first. So the Jim Henson Company did own it from 1955 to 2004. Now it is owned by, or the Muppet Studios, I should say, is owned by the Walt Disney Company, and that's from 2004 to the present day. And they bought it for $75 million.
Wow.
Yeah, which is crazy to think, how much they spent on just the Muppets, essentially. The first,
Yeah, because that doesn't count all of Jim Henson's creations.
No,
I
darn
will-
it.
so I have that
No.
later on, but he did keep a couple of them out of the realm of
Because
Disney
Sesame
buying
Street's
it.
owned by HBO.
Yes.
Sesame Street.
Well, it was owned by.
Is
it was,
that part of?
So
it was.
we'll talk about
yeah,
that.
Oh, okay.
Sesame
Yeah.
Street was essentially owned
I mixed them
by
up.
PBS,
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
and then it was bought by HBO.
But those Muppets were never as cool because they're teaching about numbers and shit.
I
don't
like
give a shit.
them.
They weren't
I
as cool
do.
as the
How can
regular
you not
Muppets.
like Oscar the Grouch?
He wasn't-
Seriously.
He's not as cool as regular
Oscar the
Muppets 'cause he's
Grouch
teaching
won.
life lessons.
I
I don't
am
want to
with
spoil
you.
so much what his research is, but there was a clear distinction between the two because one was made for an adult audience
Yeah.
and one was
Yeah.
definitely made for kids.
Yeah, that's
Because
but the
even
adult
before-
audience are much cooler.
Even predating the Muppet Show, they've made adult themed
Mhm.
Muppet movies.
Which I didn't
Yeah.
know about that
yeah,
until
It was-
this
Really?
there was
research,
one
yeah.
like drug, sex, or what
They're
was it called?
Literally, it's called
What?
Sex and Violence.
Sex and Violence.
That was the pilot to the Muppet Show
Yes,
in the
Wow.
70s.
it's called Sex and Violence.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, continue.
We'll talk a little bit about that as well. But the first production where a Muppet appeared, at least as we know from today, is Kermit the Frog. But at that point, he was a lizard. And their first appearance showed up in Sam and Friends, which came out May 9th, 1955 to December 1961. Each sketch / episode only ran about 5 minutes. And
It's
as
black and white, weren't they?
yes, they were all black and white. I think they said it popped up like twice a week. But as far as they have records of, there was only 59 episodes. So they're probably episodes that got lost along the way. So that number may not necessarily be as accurate as it was presented Rolf the dog, from the research that I did, was the second actual Muppet that we know of today that actually appears.
He's the one they
Um,
tried to push to be the main Muppet too.
Okay.
He was pushed for the longest time as he was the Kermit for the very longest time. And then when they rebranded the show, they turned Kermit more into the focal point as because I believe it was Sam the Eagle, Ralph, and somebody else were like the three main
Ralph?
people. They were all like the three main Muppets that they were pushing as like the stars.
Okay.
And then when they rebranded into the Muppet Show, they're like, we need something new. And then that's when they went with Kermit as the host.
Also,
So
that time with the black and white, it also has those coffee commercials that are really dark with the little Muppet characters.
yeah.
Like the human ones. It's like so coffee, and the guy like kills the guy to drink the coffee. I forget the name. I'll have to look that up.
I have to post it in the fan group or the fan
They're
page
so
for everybody
good.
to see then.
So from 1969 to today, the Muppets have shown up in Sesame Street, kind of like what we talked about. However, when Henson and his team worked on Sesame Street, Jim Henson actually waived his fee to keep the rights of the characters that they made, like Kermit and stuff that appeared on Sesame Street, so that they can have them for themselves.
Some Sesame Street characters also appeared on the Muppet Show.
Yes.
It is called Wilkins Coffee. So just go to YouTube and type it. Hey, you want a delicious Wilkins coffee? It's Kermit's voice because of Jim Henson, and then he like dies, and the guy steals the coffee.
But since Sesame Street, for them was more aimed as a kid show, Jim Henson was like, well, I want the Muppets to be more of an adult show, which I didn't really realize that. So like when I was watching The Office kind of like spoof of it, Kermit references one of the characters as sexy. And I was like, that's weird. Why, Kermit? And then I found did more research and stuff on this, and I was like, wait a minute, they were originally intended to be adults? That's interesting.
Some of the old 1976 Muppets is like
that's not for kids.
not very kid friendly.
So I definitely learned, a good bit of information about the Muppets that I never, because I always pictured them obviously
Like wholesome.
they're not necessarily wholesome, but they weren't Sesame Street, but yet I don't know, they weren't adult though either.
Yeah.
I felt they were more well-rounded as just a general audience, where it wasn't just like let's count numbers and letters and that kind of stuff. Like Sesame Street is kind of aimed towards. But January 30th, 1994, the first Muppet Show special was created, and it was a Valentine's Day episode. So that was the first time the Muppet Show really had a thing. And then it moved into, like we talked about, the Muppet Show, Sex and Violence. And in that, it introduced Sam the Eagle, Nigel. I'm not sure who Nigel is after that point.
Nigel.
Floyd Pepper, Dr. Teeth, Janice, Zoot, Animal, Swedish Chef, Statler, and Waldorf. And this special basically had to do with them preparing for this pageant of the 7 deadly sins. Which they kind of show a little bit at the end of, but it's really not as adult as I thought. They come in really strong with the Muppet Show, Sex and Violence, and it wasn't really maybe because I'm an adult and they've made a lot worse things. But I guess for the 70s and stuff for the Muppets,
We've already been so desensitized.
yeah. So I'm sure that plays.
Yeah, for the time.
Yeah, for the 70s, it was probably risky.
Right.
With being a puppet yet.
But the first actual episode of The Muppet Show didn't air until 1976. And with that, they did 5 seasons, and there were 120 episodes. With the seasons, though, you can only get 1 to 3 on disc.
Yeah, I got them all from my mom, and that's it.
Yeah, which I think is
I bought all the
interesting.
movies too. So.
But however, if you want to watch 4 and 5, they do have them on Disney Plus. So I don't know what kind of edits they did or any of that kind of stuff.
Do you know who the first guest of the Muppet Show was?
Not offhand.
Juliet Prowse. She was a dancer. So when the Muppets was actually filmed in the UK, it wasn't filmed in America. And the problem is they're like, all right, we want all these celebrities to come and do this, but you only have this much budget, and part of your budget is your guest. And so you had to get people who were willing to either maybe fly on their own dime or fly out there and then do your show almost for free. So a lot of the first guests were like arts people who were like, yeah, I'll come do it. It sounds like a good time. So they would get like dancers or maybe lower level comedians or people who were on their way out who were like, I'll do this thing. And that's kind of where it was like a lot of like favors, like come help us out. Like it was really hard for them to find guests. And the very first skit ever done on the Muppet Show
Was Phenomena. Yes.
was the very first skit.
Which hopefully, if you're a fan of the Muppets, you are familiar with because they do insert it
Yeah.
several times throughout all their work.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's something I insert in my life when I don't know or realize something. And it's like do 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 phenomena when somebody's trying to explain something to me and I don't understand it.
During their 5-year run for the Muppet Show, they actually won 4 Primetime Emmy Awards and were nominated 21 times. Besides that,
Wow.
I mean, 21 versus the 4 that they won isn't so great of odds. But the fact that they made these puppets in the 70s and stuff,
Mhm.
and they're winning awards over actual like actors,
Mhm.
is kind of crazy. And like looking at the ones from like the 70s, like the actual puppets, they're not really that much different in design from what they are today.
Not really. No.
Which I was kind of surprised at, that there wasn't really
Miss
like.
Piggy's much different.
Yes,
but-
sure. There are certain
So is
characters.
Gonzo. You should see fucking season 1 Gonzo.
I like when he has the feathers that just kind of.
Season 1 Gonzo, it was falling apart.
Sure. I mean, some definitely have gotten major.
Hermit's
upgrades and
basically the
stuff.
same.
But like there are some that I'm like, oh, there's no way that that's not who they are today. They didn't really go into a whole lot of things. From there, they did make 8 movies that made it to theaters,
Whoa.
not counting any of their other stuff. The 8 movies that actually made it to theaters were The Muppet Movie, The Great Muppet Caper, The Muppets Take Manhattan, The Muppets Christmas Carol, Muppets Treasure Island, Muppets from Space, The Muppets, and Muppets.
They
I want to bring up
Haunted.
2 things there.
No.
They went to
Muppets
space.
in Manhattan,
Uh-huh.
where they went first, and then where did they go?
Space.
They did not go to
Well,
space.
They didn't go to space.
Well, they're in
So,
space.
Gonzo in the movie
Is
finds out he's an alien,
Oh,
and
okay.
the family comes and finds him.
Ooh,
So
but
they
still,
come to Earth.
It's called in space.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I
never-
actually
they
didn't
never
know
go.
all of them.
It,
I don't think I
followed
saw
the
all of
movie
them.
flow.
yeah,
You go
They
to
did.
New York, you go to
Ben's-
space, and then you
and
go
it-
somewhere else.
and it
Bill-
was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Bill said
So-
that he's absolutely convinced that Muppet and Manhattan is in the same universe as Jason was with Manhattan.
No.
Could be. Could be.
Not another person on this kick too. Bill, come on.
It checks out.
So what I really liked about the filming of these Muppet movies is, as a puppeteer, right? You live in a world where your arm is up here, right? So how do you do that with actors, right? Like actual human actors. They actually had to build stages and their sets up in the air so that the puppeteers could be on the ground with their hand up in the air, and the actual actors, like what the heck's his name? I can't think of it at the moment. Who played Scrooge? Christmas Carol.
Michael Caine?
Michael Caine, yes.
Yeah.
He had to walk a thin board and act like it was a full sidewalk, so that the puppeteers had these giant holes
Space.
cut around him on
I'll
both
walk
sides.
next to him.
Yeah, so that he could walk so it looked normal.
Wow.
They probably all have
Um,
shoulder problems now.
Yeah, well, maybe. But it's cool to think of it because it's not really something like when you're
You don't
watching the
really think
movie and
about it.
stuff, because they do it so well and piece it all together that it's like, oh, there's nothing really different to that.
Mm.
But if you take a look behind the curtain, it's crazy to think that they made all these special things. Like even with Fozzie and Kermit driving the Studebaker, they had Jim and the puppeteer playing Fozzie up front, and they actually had a guy in like the trunk that they built a special space for, and he had a little camera in the back so that he could see where he was driving, and he
Wow.
remote controlled it from there, so the puppeteers had all the room to kind of do their thing up front. So it's just cool to get to see those kind of elements, and how they made things different to make these puppets seem realistic. Movies that went straight to video, there were 5 of them, which are there were
We're at 11 movies now.
yes, just in that case. So there are 2 Muppet sing-alongs that came out. There's a Muppet Classic Theater, or no, there's 3 Muppet sing-alongs. I'm sorry, I miscounted. And Kermit's Swamp Years. Then in TV, we have 12 TV series that were made. And this does include Sam and Friends and The Muppet Show. There's The Muppet Babies, Little Muppet Monsters, which I've never heard of.
No.
I never heard
No.
that.
Muppet Babies, yes.
Yeah.
Sure. The Monsters, I'm not entirely sure, but that came out in 85.
Man,
Maybe it only ran for like 1 season.
It might
Yeah.
have. And then it went to the Jim Henson Hour, the Jim Henson Animal Show, Muppets Tonight, Muppet TV, Muppet Moments, The Muppets, Muppet Babies again. I guess they got a reboot. And then Muppets Now. Now, I did not list all of the TV films / specials that the Muppets had, but there was 27 of them.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot of Christmas ones.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I thought because I looked at the list and stuff that they had listed for like the movies. I'm like, where's the Wizard of Oz one and stuff? Because I knew that there were certain ones, and I'm like, oh, where do these? Well, they fall under the TV film / specials type things. So like the Muppets, like I said, Wizard of Oz. It's a Very Merry Muppet Christmas movie. The Muppets Go to Hollywood.
I remember
Muppets
that one.
Go to the
feel like I
movies.
remember that one.
Yeah, Muppets Go to Hollywood. I remember.
A Muppet Family Christmas. I'm not sure which one is the one with Fozzie's mom.
That might be it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same
That
thing.
might
Okay.
that one might be it.
I couldn't recall if it was.
I thought it was
Very
called Snowed
Merry.
In, but I
It
wasn't.
might have. And the Muppets Haunted Mansion, which just came out.
Do they
within the
not
past few
include
years.
Emmett
Seen that one earlier.
Otter's Christmas?
So
Does that not within the field? Because our lovely Kermie is the host of that one.
there are things. I'll skip to that just so because we're already on that point. So when Disney bought the Muppets, Henson kept the rights for Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas and the Christmas toy movies. Once Disney and stuff started to release those movies, Kermit had to be cut out.
Oh wow!
Or like when Jim Henson like released them for like TV and stuff, Kermit had to get cut out because he didn't no longer have the rights to like
Yeah,
Kermit and the Muppets and stuff. However, like the DVD prints and stuff from
I was gonna say,
2015,
it's on my
on-
DVD.
yeah, they put Kermit back in. ABC Family got some way to do it, and Amazon Prime and
Yeah, because it's
stuff.
him and his little nephew, the frog. What's
Robin.
Robin.
yeah.
Robin. That's right. Robin.
So all of that kind of got fixed in a way. So if you have old DVDs and stuff,
Mhm.
don't get rid of them because there's a good chance if they ever get released again, Kermit may not be there.
I
and
might
it's
have
just
the
something
Christmas
special.
Carol on VHS.
My mom has a ton.
And,
So
uh,
every year I get her a Muppet.
the
thing.
pirate one.
Oh, Treasure Island.
I think I
Treasure
have that
Island.
one.
Yep.
I tried to get her the Office Muppet Show, but it never got released on disc.
Yeah, it's weird. Like some of the digital stuff, I would love them to come out on disc,
Yeah.
but they never.
Well, the Emmett Otter
Yeah.
thing, that was hard enough for me to find because that was
Mm.
one of my favorite Christmas movies too.
Yeah.
And it was like I could never find it. And then one day I found it and I bought it and I never saw it again.
Right.
Out there.
It's weird what they pick and choose. But the Muppets have made tons of other appearances on TV.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna throw out a couple of them. So recently, Kermit showed up on the show The Masked Singer. I believe he was the snail. Is
I
that correct?
think so.
Came out of the snail shell, and it was Kermit the Frog.
It was Kermit the Frog.
Yes, they made appearances on the X Factor, and this is for you guys. WWE Raw,
They hosted.
WWE Tribute to the Troops.
Oh.
There's too many W's probably in that sentence. And Carpool Karaoke, just as some examples. Now, we could honestly be here all day talking about the celebrities and stuff that
Mhm.
have made their way as cameos or whatever.
Because the show would always have one
into-
celebrity guest at least.
Right. I just mean like from the
So,
movies,
yeah.
the
Oh,
the
yeah,
Muppet
they always
Show,
had
like
celebrities.
across their history. We could be here all day talking about
Yeah.
all the people. So anyone in the chat who wants to leave a comment saying their favorite cameo, I just pulled out a couple, like a handful of names just to kind of give mention to some of them. So like Tim Curry, for instance, who was in Muppets Treasure Island, he played Long John Silver. We got Hulk Hogan, Neil Patrick Harris, Selena Gomez, Josh Groban, Emily Blunt, Jason Segel, Amy Adams, Jim Parsons, Joan Rivers, Quentin Tarantino, Steve Martin, Danny Trejo, Alice Cooper, Elton John, Julie Andrews, Mark Hamill, John Stamos, Whoopi Goldberg, Reese Witherspoon, Christina Applegate, and there's so many more after that.
Tina,
yeah.
Tina Fey's
John
in the Muppet
Stamos
movie.
is
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
the
He's in Haunted
Mansion one.
Mansion, yes.
That's what I'm
And
watching.
the
Um,
human and the Muppet brother. What's that one called? It's like the last Muppet movie that came out.
I think it's just called The Muppets.
Is it the Muppets?
Yeah, I think so.
That's the one with Jason Segel, right?
Mhm.
He
Yes.
used to
Yeah.
advocate for them hard. Like he
Yeah.
loved the
That movie was
Muppets.
pretty good.
yeah. And then they came out the next one, Most Wanted.
I don't know if I've
That's the
seen that.
sequel to the Muppets. I don't know if I've seen that one as well.
I've seen it. It's not
Um,
bad, but I feel like it could have been a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah, some other ones. Because I think we're just talking about our generation of Muppets, obviously. But if you go
Right.
back in the curtain a
Mhm.
little bit, you have Steve Martin was on the Muppet Show at one point in time. Some of the names I'm skipping over just because I personally don't know who they
Right.
are, but they're pretty
Well,
popular.
whoever was big in the
Bill,
70s.
Bill
Yeah.
said
early
Jack Black.
70s.
Yeah, Jack Black was in
Yeah,
that movie. Yep.
Julia
I think Sarah
Andrews,
Silverman was
Alice Cooper,
Yeah, he said that.
Sarah Silverman.
And Elton John was a
Yeah, he
guest.
said
Yep.
that.
Yeah, there's a lot of some old
Yeah.
school ones there.
Yeah, I tried to throw in a mix of like just random names, because there were tons of them that I found, and just like even from knowing them, from seeing them throughout the movies. And,
I didn't get a chance
stuff.
to watch as many of the older shows as I wanted to, just because I got so busy with everything.
yeah.
Yeah, I
But
wanted to
one of the
watch that.
shticks they did at least for the first couple, like first season at least, is every time you went on as a guest, at the very end of the show, they presented you a Muppet of yourself.
Oh, they show it
Oh,
on TV.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so like if you were a guest,
I don't
they
remember
made
that at all.
you. This is the 1976 one.
Or did they
I-
do it off the air?
No, on air, they like, so they're like, thank you so much for Kermit would be like, thank you so much for coming, and in
Yeah.
tradition of what we do here, here's a Muppet of you, and and then
Aw.
the Muppet would come out and she's like, oh, can I take her home? And she's like, sure, you can, and they would leave together.
So that makes sense because at
Mhm.
the end of Sex and Violence, they actually showed all the puppeteers with their puppets. Like they panned
Oh.
out as like the chaos was happening
Yeah.
at the end of the episode, and you just see them having fun. It was really fun to get to see.
Then that's
Um,
something that'd be interesting. Like if somebody can do that out there, make a Muppet of you. That'd be
There-
cool.
I
Like that's
think-
something
I'm
I'd
sure
watch.
there are
That's a big
people.
thing on the Howard Stern show.
I would love
They
it.
do make Muppets. It's expensive to get a Muppet
Oh.
made of you.
Yeah.
So
That's the big
it's a non-official one, obviously.
Yeah.
On Nikolai's bucket list.
Yeah.
Someday.
Become
Someday.
a Muppet.
I wouldn't mind that.
If
too.
you want to subscribe to the Patreon and pay for us to get Muppets done of
Muppets.
us,
You're looking at about probably 2,000.
All right.
Oh, wow.
So if that's the
Yikes.
case, I feel like we have to do an entire episode where the
We
Muppets
are
are
Muppets?
on.
I would dislocate
That's-
my shoulder.
If I can
Maybe,
find a Muppet,
maybe that
thing, I
would be our
do it
next
tonight.
logo
I'll do
too.
yours
Like
for
all
you.
of
Yeah.
our faces as Muppets.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I thought it would be interesting to look at Kermit's actor timeline, because a lot of us know Kermit from his like 1990 realm before this new actor.
Here's a question
jumped
that
in.
no one can answer. Oh, everyone can try to answer except Nikolai. How many voices of Kermit do you think? there
Oh,
have
because
been?
I know.
Well, it was Jim Henson for the longest time
Mhm.
Mhm.
until
I think
when did he die?
I'm not sure
I'm
his
not sure.
death, but he
Hmm.
did play Kermit from 1955 to 1990.
Wow,
Yeah.
how about that?
So
And most
And he
people
also
know.
did Swedish Chef too.
And he did
did
a lot. He
yeah.
was like
Oh,
he's like
Swedish
Matt
Chef.
Trey
I
and
didn't know
Quaid for like South Park. He
Yeah.
did him and his partner did a lot of the voices. But he actually more people are attached to the second Kermit more than they are Jim Henson's Kermit.
Mm.
And the third Kermit's the one that we hear today, and a lot of people hate it.
Oh.
So there's three.
Yeah, there's
yes.
You
Well, I
just
mean, if a
gave us
guy
the
dies, what can you do?
He
you know?
died. He
Right.
died in May 16th, 1990. So he's
Wow.
53.
So he did it right till the end.
He did it
just
to
about.
the end. Yeah.
That's crazy.
On his deathbed.
Didn't he have a son?
He was one of the voices of the guys in the one of the, I think he was Walter. Or
Yeah, he has. he
Was there a
has-
John Henson?
Yeah,
or
there's
something?
John,
Brian?
Brian,
Yeah.
and then
his
two
wife was a
girls.
puppeteer as
Two
Yeah.
well.
girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian spent a lot of time on the Muppet, like the original Muppet movie, as a kid, just on set every
Hmm.
day.
That'd be fun.
Because he actually shows up in Prop Culture, the Disney Plus show. When they did the Muppet episode, they go and visit him, and he kind of talks about his life growing up with the Muppets every day on set and all that kind of stuff, which was a lot of fun, to get to hear. But after Jim Henson, it did move to Steve Whitmire from 1990 to 2016, and then Matt Vogel from 2017 to the present day.
So three.
Now, I was very curious as why all of a sudden did Steve no longer be Kermit? He got fired. So when they sold the studio to Disney, it came out. Whoever made the decision, like out of the Henson family at the time, said we should have fired Steve before passing it over to Disney because we knew it was going to be a problem. Apparently, he was not the nicest. He was calling out directors and
Ooh.
making all these horrible notes to people and all this
Ooh.
kind of stuff.
Hey, you!
Um,
Fuck you!
however,
And you know that's so funny because the puppeteer playing him, it sounds like an asshole. But
Yeah.
yet Kermit's like one of the most kindest
Right.
characters. It's
So,
so
I
mean,
don't blame Kermit.
Depends on what generation
I
of
blame
Kermit you're
Steve.
watching.
yeah.
Because the 76 and 80s Kermit's
Mhm.
kind of a dick.
Oh
Sure.
really? I have
he-
to. I
He's
don't
a
know.
jerk to Cookie Monster at one
Yeah.
point in the 70s.
He's a
He
he's
can
a
be,
dick
sure.
to Gonzo. He's a dick to
Yeah.
everybody. He's he's kind of like a
The
really
Rainbow Connection. with
he's like a
Kermit?
really big dictator in the old
Kermit.
Muppet Show. He's like, oh, I have some jokes tonight. He's like, please don't do jokes. You're terrible. like-
he's like the late night host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of not a dick, but he's very strict. Like,
Well, I have to check
Yeah,
that
the
out.
ones- yeah,
then.
the old-
I don't know how to watch them though.
it's
What
funny
are they
because a
on?
lot of times
Disney
too,
Plus. You can
Kermit
watch.
wanted nothing to do with Miss Piggy, and the only reason that Miss Piggy falls in love with him is because there was a fake Kermit it was like a
Oh,
Scooter
got
buys
catfish.
Scooter buys
Kermit with
a
the mustache.
yeah Scooter buys a you build your own host of the Muppet, and it was
Yeah.
Kermit, and he just had a crank in the back that you cranked, and he came to life, and it was Kermit,
Yeah.
and that Kermit hit on Miss Piggy, which then sparked like the love interest.
Oh my
Got
goodness.
catfish.
So I guess that makes sense why they're no longer together.
Yeah,
Well, you don't know that. The end of the
No,
Office
I
one.
do.
Oh, you do.
Oh, well, I didn't
The
finish the end of that, but they haven't. Like, I watched the Muppets now,
I
um,
think they're pretty
and they're
bad
like,
together anyway.
Yeah. They're
Yeah,
kind of
she-
toxic.
Very toxic.
she's abusive. She's
She's
physically
mean.
Is right.
she
Very
she
mean.
physically hits him. She's
She
terrible.
does.
But
Very
I
mean.
do see your point because he started in the 90s
Mhm.
as Kermit, and at that point, Kermit's a super nice,
Yeah.
go lucky kind of guy. Like, he believes in the world, has all this faith in everything,
Yeah.
and
And he's played by this
y-
douche.
right. So I don't blame Kermit. It's
Oh, of course
Steve.
not.
Yeah.
Like, I would, even if Steve was playing him at the time, I would meet Kermit the Frog.
Do you ever see Kermit on TikTok?
No.
The spoof
Yeah.
Kermit. Yes, I have.
It's
I follow
hilarious.
him. Yeah.
It's like Kermit. He's
He
on
does Mickey
he's
Mouse,
on
too.
Omegle, and he's like, hey, and they're like, Kermit. He's like, what are you doing on Omegle? He's like, I'm looking for baddies. And he's like, you want to see some? He's like, yeah, and he just pulls up a cucumber. Like, that's for you.
But it's blurred in.
No, they actually show it on. Like, it depends on what platform you watch it.
I think it'd be more funny if it was blurred.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Cucumber, like, that's a cucumber.
he
Kermit.
just pulls up the cucumber, and they're like, whoa. And he goes, yeah, that's for you. Hope you enjoy that.
Oh my goodness.
So I have a question for you guys before I give you the answer. Do you know what the original Kermit the Frog was made of?
I have no idea.
Puppet stuff.
Styrofoam.
Felt.
No. So
Carpet.
Jim Henson took an old coat of his mom's, cut it up, as well as an old pair of his jeans and ping pong balls, and made the original Kermit the Frog.
Interesting.
And then
Well,
dyed it
that
green.
had to
was
be some
very-
70s green,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, it was very do it yourself, man. That's all
Yeah.
they did.
Huh?
My
That's all-
counters.
Oh, you really had.
And like, even from the Prop Culture Show, they talked about the Gonzo that was on top of the van at one point. It's like foam. It's not like made of a
Dude, the
metal
original Gonzo
material or
looked
anything?
terrible.
no, I'm not saying like the actual
Yeah,
Gonzo.
But I'm saying, if you watch like the first 5-6 episodes of the original Muppet Show,
Yeah.
his puppet looks like it's fucking gonna fall apart.
I mean, it was the 70s though too, so
I mean, he looked completely different.
sure.
I gotta
Than the
start
rest
looking
of
at
the
these
cast.
pictures here.
Well, while you're looking that up, while we were on Kermit, his Rainbow Connection original recording reached number 25 on the Billboard Hot 100, which is kind of crazy. That
So this is the
Wow.
Gonzo we all know and
did
love.
that. Yeah.
Sorry, Bill
That's
made a
season
joke.
1 Gonzo.
Okay, that's not that bad.
So Bill said
He's
you
an
could
alien.
say
It looks like a diseased chicken from
Yeah.
this,
Well,
this
when-
angle.
They didn't have that much money, so you had to work with
you
what you
could
had.
say Jim Henson did the job until he croaked.
That's funny.
That's a funny one.
Oh my goodness.
I fucking love Bill. He cracks me up.
Not only though did the Muppets do like film, TV, and all that kind of stuff, they were actually also in print. They had their own Muppet magazine from 1983 to 1989, and I liked it the way that the magazine was designed. It was actually designed in the way that the Muppets actually wrote it themselves, which is
That's
great
cool.
because we
So it's
live in
all
this
in
world
character.
where the Muppet is a person essentially. And there is no puppeteers, there is no nothing. So the fact that they've gone to this new level of, I mean, not necessarily a new level because it was in the 80s, but where they kept that spirit alive, where they are doing it. Like, if it was in the 90s and I sent like a fan letter to Kermit the Frog, I wouldn't want Steve's autograph. I would want Kermit's, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of plays into that kind of thing. And they also in 1984, Marvel Comics did a comic book run based on the Muppets, which
I've never seen a Muppet
Man.
challenge. Only Muppet Babies. So I have one issue.
Yeah.
of that.
I just find it interesting that of all the comic book companies, it was Marvel
Yeah.
that was like, let's make a Muppet comic. It's, but from there, they are in theme parks as well. Obviously, they're going to be in Disney theme parks, but this was, I believe, even before they owned the rights to the Muppets. Muppet Vision 3D is in Hollywood Studios in Florida. We always go there and get to see that. part of
That's
the
not
park.
even standing anymore, is it?
No, it's there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
there. It's
we saw
still
it.
going.
The old
So-
theater, the 3D
yeah,
show.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's all still there.
The store was the only thing that was closed.
Right. And they put a sign up saying that it will be reopened, but I think it has more to do with like the lack of workers
Yeah.
at that time because we went in September. But that was always something that I looked forward to because they have this whole area built where like in the fountain and stuff, there's a statue of Miss Piggy in the fountain, and they have some of the rats in boats and stuff. But it does creep along the line of Toy Story, like before they added this whole new
Yeah, it's like
section to
right
the
by
park.
Pizza Planet.
That's what I'm going to talk about.
Mhm.
So Pizza Planet no longer exists. It is now Rizzo's Pizza because they've expanded it, and I guess because they added the Toy Story section to the park, they got rid of.
So they made
the-
more Muppets.
Yes, so they made
That's
more
good.
Muppets, which I'm fine with, but they didn't replace the Pizza Planet part anywhere else in the park, which kind of sucks.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, too, there was the drive-in restaurant is somewhere by there too.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's over there.
in that park.
That was really dope. You actually sit in
Mhm.
like a car, and
Yeah.
they have like you actually feel like you're outside, but you're in
Mhm.
And they
you're
play like
indoors.
old
And
30s,
they play
40,
like
50 movies.
1940s, 30s
Yeah.
black and white horror movies, and you sit in a car and eat
That's cool.
dinner.
I looked up the Muppet comic, and you can get a hardcover of all the Marvel ones because there's Muppets Take Manhattan, and it's $60. And on the back, there's quotes from Muppets, and then in the bottom it says, "This book isn't half bad." Statler, "Nope, it's all bad." Waldorf.
Yeah, that's like their go-to. This
Yeah.
isn't half bad. Or
But they also have another attraction. The Muppets present great moments in American history, and that's in Magic Kingdom. I'm gonna assume Sam the Eagle presents that.
I think that it was the old.
The Hall of Presidents.
No, the Hall of President's still there. I
No, I
think.
know.
I think the ride that took over is the MGM movie ride.
Oh, it might have.
Where like you went through and it was like Alien and Cleopatra, and they went through all of the famous MGM movies.
Okay.
Where, I don't know if you ever wrote it. That's what we wrote. So you first walk in, you're in a theater,
Yeah, we wrote that.
and like you're standing in the theater, and they show you a movie of like, this is the history of MGM and all of our great movies, and then you get on the ride and you just kind of ride through and see all of their MGM like most famous moments, and that's when like the alien drops down from the ceiling at you.
Was this in
Okay.
MGM Studios when
Yeah.
it was MGM?
So I think that one turned into the Muppet ride.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
a lot of
Um,
really cool rides like got repackaged and rethemed.
Yeah.
Especially when they got so the year we went was the last year it was going to be called MGM, and that's
Okay.
when it turned into
What-
like
Yeah.
Disney
Hollywood Studios.
Hollywood Studios.
Actually,
Tur-
that was at the beginning of the park. If I'm not mistaken, that's actually Mickey and Minnie's Runaway
I was gonna-
Railway.
Yeah,
now.
it was called like it went from like MGM to Planet like Hollywood Disney or something like that. Like they got rid of the sorcerer's hat, like that was a big deal. Like that was like the main center part of
Yeah.
that the sorcerer's hat. Because I remember when we got the pin, the guy's like, "Oh, you guys are pin collectors?" We're like, "Oh, I guess we are now." He goes, "Don't get rid of this one because we're not allowed to tell anybody. But like in a year or two, it's not even called this anymore. Like we're dropping all the MGM, we're getting rid of Mickey Sorcerer hat. Like this is all going away."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
And that was
Yeah.
back in 2000. When did we start dating?
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there when it was MGM, so I don't even know really what that one's called now. Is it Hollywood something you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's just Disney's Hollywood Studios now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been there.
And there was like a
Me
back.
neither.
I guess there was like a backlot ride. I don't think they do it anymore. But like they show you like the Psycho House. Like it's up on.
No,
the
that's
hill.
at Universal.
That's Universal. Yeah, that's
I
still
don't know,
there.
I-
No, that was in.
No.
We did it because we didn't go to
Not the
Universal.
Psycho House.
Yeah,
Guarantee you that's not the Psycho House.
it was in MGM's thing. Like
Oh,
where
maybe it was
where and then
something
they
MGM,
show you like an
but-
action scene where they show like water exploding and stuff. It was like a whole. It was in MGM.
Hmm.
Mm,
I'm trying to
I
think. of it.
I don't know.
I
Yeah, I
know they
remember
have
that.
at Universal the backlot studio tour where
Mhm.
they take you to the Psycho House.
Yeah.
and stuff
Well, I
that they
mean,
filmed
you
in
don't see it
California.
close. It's way out there.
Oh no, this one like they walk like you drive right by it, and
Yeah.
Norman comes out of the hotel and like chases the car.
Oh,
No,
that
yeah,
sounds
you don't get
awesome.
close enough to
Love
see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
They also had a web series, which
Oh.
I thought was interesting.
Hmm.
And it oddly enough came out in 2005. Not something now. Like
Yeah,
you'd
that's
think with
weird.
like COVID and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that was
that-
kind of way before its time then.
Right.
Because streaming and stuff wasn't really big back then either.
And
it
it-
was still
oh.
DVDs to home.
Bill
Right.
said I was talking the Waterworld show, but there was a part of it where like you went like Herbie the Love Bug was part of it. Like it took you to all these different
Okay.
movie titles.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I could be wrong. It's been so long, but I do remember seeing the Psycho House and Herbie
Yeah.
the Love Bug, and then they showed you like a stunt sequence where they fucking
I
like.
think I vaguely remember this too, as you're saying, and especially
Yeah.
with the water and everything.
I mean, I
just
remember them
don't-
having
I
stunt
can't
shows
remember.
and stuff, but
And I remember
I remember that.
was it
Phantasmic.
Yeah,
So that was
Phantasmic.
closed when we went in September.
So
Just for, like,
there's actually
that-
some news about that.
Oh,
that's
I think it's
reopening
going to be
now.
reopening
thank God. It's my favorite show in
because
the
they
park.
started with Indiana Jones, saying that one should be opening right back up soon, and I think probably maybe even this year that they should be doing Phantasmic as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for those of you, just because we're on the topic of Phantasmic, that don't know what that is, basically what it is Mickey Mouse is asleep. The villains decide to take over his dream, and he fights back as Sorcerer Mickey.
Yep.
Oh.
It's cute.
It's a great show. There are 2 versions of it, so depending on what park you go to, there's one in the California park, and then there's one in Florida. Personally, I prefer the Florida one just because they have more villains in it. But
I've only ever seen the Florida one. I'd like to go to the California one day.
it is
Make it
cool.
there.
But it's in like a little lake in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
Versus like a stadium
Yeah.
that they have in Florida, which I find interesting.
I think my uncle has been to every Disney. Maybe he's missing like one, but I think he's been to every Disney.
Like in the world,
Yeah.
that's
There's
crazy.
yeah.
He's a he's a super Disney fan.
Oh, that's the one you were telling me about. Then.
Yeah, he lives out the street. One of these
Yeah.
days, I'll have to like give him like a heads up to be like, hey, is it cool if I bring someone to your house and just like let you see his collection? It's you'll
And
have
it's
an
not even all of it. I'm sure.
no. He has
Like,
more
like,
stashed away that he
wow.
can't show on display because he has too much. Like he's a Disney fanatic.
That's awesome.
His thing is Donald. He loves Donald Duck.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, he has statues from like the Disney store before they closed, and like
Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome.
he has like the porcelain statues of like every single movie.
I used to know a lady
That's
who collected
crazy.
all the snow globes from Disney, the
Okay.
Disney stores, and that's all
funny.
she wanted ever. Like when it was her birthday, Christmas, whatever. That's all she wanted her son to get her was the snow globes.
That's what I always.
And she had like curials of them all.
I got in
Crazy.
trouble at a family function because I was like, because one of our family members just passed away, and I was just like, Paul, like, what are you gonna do if you go? And he's like it was probably the worst timing, but I was like, you have a lot of really cool shit, and I feel like a lot of people would just try to sell it on you, and I'm not trying to like stake claim to your collection, but I feel like
but you are.
I feel like I would
Can you
have
put that in a will?
I feel like I would appreciate it
You
more.
put that
like,
in writing.
like he has a crazy good DVD collection. He has a good
You won't
like
get it.
like he has all these really good things that I think like if it went
Yeah.
to certain other people, like
They
they would just sell it. They wouldn't give a
Well,
fuck
if they're
about
gonna
it.
sell it, let me know.
Yeah, but I'm like I feel like I would appreciate it more.
Yeah.
And if I after I'm gonna die, I'd find someone else who would appreciate
Right.
it. Yeah.
That I feel like that's the proper method
Yeah.
when it comes to stuff like that.
It's
Especially
not-
if you have stuff that like are from like the statues from the store,
Mhm.
Yeah.
things like that.
He has
that
a lot
aren't
of
really like to be sold.
Yeah, he has a lot of like really impressive stuff. Like
it's unfortunately not the way it goes though. It just
Yeah.
Family members just don't give a shit.
Yeah, unless
Yeah.
there's a will.
yeah.
I
I just
mean,
feel like if it went to some people, it
Yeah.
would just all become
Yeah.
like
Wow.
yard sale stuff, and
Yeah.
they wouldn't even get what it's worth. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't see it as value. Like I would sell it, make money. I would be like, oh, this like, our fucking house would
Cool, I
look.
want
Like we would put it
Yeah.
in display. Like we'd put on display or find somewhere we can put it on display.
Yeah.
Like
And this was my family member stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
no, I think it just he spent a lot of money on it, and he truly valued it, and he liked it and collected it. And
Right.
I don't know, just be weird to just like get rid of it. Like I don't know, that's just weird. But he has like a really impressive collection. I'll have to show you one day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But the only thing else I have to say about the web series, because that's about it on my end of things, is first off, I want you to guess whose web series this was out of the Muppets.
The Scientist.
Okay.
Oh, Bunsen?
Bunsen.
Bunsen and Beaker.
Bunsen
Bunsen and
Hunter.
Beaker.
I'm gonna say Gonzo.
Miss Piggy.
I'm gonna go Fozzie.
Scooter.
Scooter. You're all wrong. It was
Oh.
Statler and Waldorf.
Oh wow.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. Oh, did
And-
they review
Wow.
Did they
movies?
just shit on everything?
did.
No.
So on movies.com, they
They were
got
like the first podcast.
Statler, kind of. So they would watch movie trailers and upcoming movies and talk about them.
That's awesome.
So I'm really curious to see if those episodes still exist
Yeah.
somewhere.
That's something they should bring
kinda-
back.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'd watch that today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Who's
when
my
did
favorite kids?
like when was the first time you guys ever seen the Muppets? Like were you Muppet babies? Were you Muppets? Were you
Nickelodeon used to have the 70s show on in the morning, like 9 or 10,
yeah.
when I was small. That's I seen that. And then Muppet Babies was also hot at the time. Too.
Yeah, that, Muppets Babies was huge.
yeah. And
Like, Disney,
in the
I mean
mid to late
fucking,
80s, yeah.
the like fast food toys.
Mhm.
Yeah, because everything had babies. There was Tiny Toons, there was Muppet Babies, pup named Scoob, like Baby Scooby Doo. Like
Yeah.
everyone had everything in that time was like baby version.
I do remember going to, I think it was Burger King that had them, and they had stuffed versions of the Muppets. But
Oh,
they were
yeah.
dressed as hockey players.
Mm.
Oh,
I have a
that's
Kermit somewhere.
That's
Um,
an
There
odd.
Weren't there
pairing.
like glasses or jelly? The jelly jars.
Yeah, with the Muppets
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, and there was glasses too from
Yeah.
Burger King. I still have
Mhm.
one with like a Miss Piggy riding a bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never
Couple,
seen the
I'm not
Muppet
sure.
ones, but I have the peanuts, some of the peanut ones that were
Mm.
from McDonald's, and I have some of the Garfield
Okay.
Garfield
Yeah.
ones.
I
Yeah.
might have a couple. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, we're closing to the end here. We'll go through plugs, but also I want your plug, I want your shirt you're wearing, and I want
I thought you meant, like-
your soul.
no,
I know what your boots, your clothes, and your motorcycle.
and I want your favorite Muppet.
Oh no.
Oh,
Go
Heidi.
ahead.
Well, Heidi said
I'm
nothing.
out. I pass.
Mine's Gonzo.
Oh, we
there you
didn't
go.
we
Yeah.
didn't do the.
Oh yeah, let's
Yeah.
do that. Let's do that.
Is it twist off? Let's see.
It is a twist off. Yeah.
Don't throw
So
it away.
we have
Yeah,
a
don't throw it away.
don't
They're
don't
points.
bend it, don't do anything.
No, I mean I bent one. So the first
Are
one
we
that
still
they
doing
sent like
news?
this.
Or
I
not
cracked
news,
it
what we're
open.
into.
yeah,
at
that's
the
part
end,
of the
remember?
plugs. Your plugs and what you're
Oh,
into.
okay.
Yeah. You want to give me that?
What's
No.
soda?
So yeah. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna bring back something that we used to do. We used to do snacks and drinks and stuff.
Nobody wants
So
any.
Nikolai has got this Jones special release. It's going to be the icy edition, which I'm really excited because I love Slush Puppy and ices. It's a cherry soda on. Now, how many different flavors of this are
That's
out
it.
there? It's only cherry.
just cherry, and it
Cherry.
is sold out on their site. It's sold out within.
I was thinking, I'm
a day or
hoping that's
two.
something like
Just
normal
cherry
and
icy.
not that like the turkey
Slush
and gravy
Puppy is
one.
no, no,
When
no.
you were
different than
telling me, I was
No.
like, oh my god.
Yeah, but I like both of them. I like Slush Puppy and ices.
Yeah, there's usually icy. There's the cherry, the blue, and then the Coke.
Oh, I'm not good
flavor.
at this.
So it doesn't seem like that wacky like cherry soda. In fact, that's why Cheerwine is right here. So it's not that crazy.
Well,
So
Sorry, I didn't wait for any.
so no wait, there's
That's
two
right.
different kind of slushies.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
Slush Puppy and then
Icy
ices.
is
Yeah, Slush
different than
Puppy's
a
a little
slushie.
dog thing.
Slush
Little
Puppy
dog
is
Slush Puppy is like
penguin?
a slushy, and icy is an icy. They're different.
yeah.
It's
Slush
Coke.
Puppy.
They're
Slush,
different.
Okay.
It's
A
Coke and
slushie is
Pepsi.
like ice,
Okay.
crushed
Yeah.
ice, kind
yeah,
of.
Slush
like,
Puppy is more of like
but
crushed.
not like a snow cone.
I guess
crushed
I always
ice.
get the one with the polar bear on it. What's
That's
that?
icy.
That's
That's
icy.
icy.
So
That's this.
icy is more what you would get from like the machines at the stores, and a Slush Puppy is just
Oh, that
is
does taste
is like
yeah.
water ice with the syrup squirted on it.
So at-
at
at
like
some
an
point-
Italian ice almost.
Kind of, but you still drink it.
Yeah. Oh.
It's like a snow cone, but like
Yeah.
slushier.
They're the same.
They're not
It's
the same.
It's Coke and Pepsi. They're both cola.
Yeah. You don't
Yes,
want
they
to.
taste slightly different.
You don't want to
They're
ask
different.
me my opinion
So
on gummy
the
bears too, because they're all the same
Ices
also.
ices are made
All the same.
frozen drinks, and they're already pre-mixed, and then you squirt it into your cup. Where a Slush Puppy is, you get the ice in a cup, and then you
And
put
you
your
put the
own
flavor.
and then
Yeah.
you put your own flavors on.
Oh.
Well, this soda isn't bad.
No,
Yeah.
it's
No,
not
I
bad.
actually thought it was gonna be too
Oh.
sweet, but it's really good.
Honestly,
now
I
I
would like
remember. Yeah, because
to-
that's what we used to have the icy, the slush pup, or the puppy one where you
I like
squirt
the
your
school
own at the
football games
schools.
and
And then you
Yeah.
fuck it up,
And
and you
in
put
our
too many squirts, and
cafeteria.
you ruin your drink.
Or you
Yeah.
make it better by adding more squirts.
No, you put too many squirts on your butcher. But yeah, no, this is cool, and we're gonna be doing this more often. You're gonna be getting more different Jones sodas for us to try,
Yeah.
so we'll have
it
more.
tastes like an icy with carbonated icy.
It does.
Yeah.
I would
does
like to
taste
try
good,
it
yeah.
frozen. Like
Yeah.
make an
Oh,
actual
yeah.
slushy and have that as like the syrup that goes in it.
Well, the only problem when you freeze soda,
Well, no, not freeze the soda.
Get
like,
the ice.
oh, okay,
get the
dump
ice
that
and
over
like
top.
make
'Cause
it.
then the flavor separates from the ice if you've ever frozen a soda.
Yeah.
And that's why it explodes, because the ice gets bigger and the flavor goes to the bottom.
Yeah, if you've ever left a can of soda in
Yeah.
your car in the winter,
Mm-hmm.
Whoops.
No, you leave a whole case.
ice
oh my
chunks
God.
everywhere.
All right. So who wants to go first?
So what are we doing? Favorite Muppet?
Favorite Muppet?
You
what
want
your
our shirt?
is?
No.
What you're plugging, or what you're into
So
right now?
keep in mind, it is an hour 20, so don't go too crazy on what you're into right now.
Okay.
So we'll start with you, Andy.
No, I was looking up the Jones soda.
He's
real
not
quick.
ready.
Yeah.
Next.
So-
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll end with Andy then.
All right. So I am obviously wearing Fright Rags. But because
Obviously.
Valentine's Day was this week, I decided to wear my Blade Valentine 3D shirt, specifically 3D. And you'll understand why in a minute for you audio listeners. My favorite Muppet, probably have to say Gonzo, but it is super hard to pick, between them in general. What was the last thing we're doing?
Your plugs.
Oh, and the plugs.
Yeah.
So recently I submitted my Merida photos for the Retro Lovely Disney edition that's coming out this spring, and they were accepted. So that means I'm going to have Bella and Merida within those editions. So if somebody wants to do a cosplay version of their favorite Disney princess or villain, let me know and we can set up a shoot. It's not guaranteed to be published, but I definitely would love to do more Disney stuff.
Very cool.
Mhm.
That's cool.
I'm gonna wear your Chewbacca jacket and just take some photos of it.
Could be Bigfoot in the woods.
Yeah.
Bigfoot in the woods.
You ready, Annie?
Yeah, sure. I'm ready
Good.
to go. I thought, like I said, Gonzo. So
Yeah.
that's probably my favorite. But I like almost all the Muppets. I don't hate any of them actually. I have been playing games for easy achievements on Game Pass because I got Game Pass. And while everyone was watching the Super Bowl, I played a game called Unpacking, where all you do is there's a box in a room and you press A and an item comes out of the box and then you put it somewhere and you do that until the box is empty and you get an achievement.
And that,
And then if you put certain items in places, like you put everything that makes coffee on the counter, you get an achievement to make coffee.
why?
This sounds like a perfect game
It
for
sounds
Tony.
like lawn simulator. What is it?
And Ice Road Trucker.
Yeah,
and-
it's so easy, but it's all like 16-bit graphics.
Sometimes those cheap, stupid games are just they scratch an itch.
But yeah, it's calming. But I'm doing it for the achievement points. I don't care, and I'm almost done it. I did that. I also did a game called Townscaping, in which it's an ocean, and then you push a button. If you push A, there's land. You push A again, there's a house, and you can build a whole town that way, and you can get 1,000 achievement points in 10 minutes.
Wow.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, and I also played
Huh.
Doom 64, which kind of sucks nowadays, but it's very easy achievements.
Yeah.
So that's why I've been playing. I'm almost done Pokemon Pro. And you know what I did? I got to the end and the last Pokemon. It's like, oh, the legendary Pokemon's here. You got to fight it and stop from taking over the world. I'm like, okay, I'm going to fight it. And it's like, oh, it looks like it's almost dead. I'm like, I'm going to kill it. Poison, dead. And it's like, so-and-so it's gone back where it came from. I was like, oh, I should have caught it. So I was like, let me go back and do the save. And the game fucking saves so you can't.
Auto saved it.
Yep. It auto saves.
Well,
so you can't go back and catch the
if you're
Pokemon.
like me and Tony, who turned autosave off, your game crashes, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Mine hasn't crashed yet.
So
I didn't
Pearl,
get the legendary Pokemon.
so the
Pro.
new game is whatever the fuck it's called is
Pokemon
actually
Legends.
Arceus.
Arceus
Legends.
is just is the same Pearl and Diamond and Pearl
Yeah,
location,
the same Pokemon. Yeah.
but the beginning,
yeah,
the
like,
earlier
like
version.
your quest. You're
Yeah.
out to find the new Pokemon.
Mhm.
So.
Anthony,
I've been
or do you have
What?
anything you want to plug?
Not really. I mean, our shows, which we all plug here. Truth Not Illusion next Tuesday. Snallygaster, baby.
Yeah, you
Um,
plug it because
yeah.
it's your show next.
Snallygaster.
Well, what is
It's
the Snallygaster?
It's a cryptid. It's a monster. It might be part dragon. Might be a demon. It flies.
We still need to find that castle.
Yeah, it's
It
from
only comes out
Maryland.
in midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of our famous presidents hunted it. Went out for a hunt
Yeah.
on it. Yeah,
They say he actually like shot Bigfoot or something like that. He
he's
actually
one of the most
captured.
badass. Teddy Roosevelt is one of the most badass presidents we've ever had.
It's also a comic book where he leads an elite team of people at the time to hunt monsters.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
called
the
Rough
League,
Riders.
the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, and yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
one was Houdini.
Do you know that the younger generation they can't differentiate Teddy Roosevelt from Robin Williams now because of the
What?
museum?
I mean,
yeah,
that's fine.
that's
not in the
whenever
museum.
they,
Robert Williams plays.
Oh,
He
I have
plays
never
Teddy
seen it.
He
Roosevelt.
comes alive. And
Oh, I
stuff,
was gonna
and
say they don't look alike.
No, but he plays Teddy Roosevelt in that movie. So
Oh,
now that's
he
all they
does
think.
look very good.
Yeah,
As,
I thought you were gonna say the kid
Some people think
from him from FDR.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is Jesus.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
True.
Oh.
Ewan
a lot of
McGregor
the
in a
old
beard.
people they don't get it.
I'd
They're
rather him
actually,
be
they're actually
Jesus.
sharing that meme, and it's
Yeah,
actually
some
like
people
no,
sneak
it's
into their
Obi-Wan.
parents' house and they give them a framed photo of
Oh,
Jesus.
it's Obi-Wan.
And it's Obi-Wan from
That's
episode 1.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
love
their
it.
parents are like, oh, it's Jesus. And it's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Anthony.
So I've been watching a show and playing a game a lot. I'm going to start with the show, Resident Alien, which it's basically an alien. He wants to destroy the planet, and he is trying to figure out what humans do and what the right things are and what the bad things are.
We don't even know.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
we don't know, and like he's
Well,
trying
that's
to figure
why
it
he's
out on
coming
his
to kill
own.
us because we don't.
Yeah.
That's
It stars Alan Tudyk. I think that's how you
Yeah.
say his name.
Steve the Pirate.
Yeah, Steve the
Dodgeball
Pirate.
fans?
Yeah. Or from Knight's Tale, he was the redhead in the Knight's Tale too.
he was even in Frozen.
Mm-hmm. With with him in the show, like the alien is obsessed with law and order, and that's how
Oh,
he learns how to
Yeah,
talk.
that's how he learned to speak English. So that noise, particular,
Yeah.
like when something bad happens or something, he just goes kung kung.
Why
And,
didn't
like-
you tell me that before? I probably would have
Oh.
started watching it sooner.
Okay,
It,
well,
it
yeah,
does,
It
it's on
does
the
look pretty
sci-fi
good.
app. You can
it
watch
is
Sold.
super funny, but it's also on my Voodoo account. Both
Okay.
seasons. So
If
far.
you're from another planet and you watch Law and Order Special Victims Unit, you would want to kill the planet.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
all
yes.
he had in this cabin that he landed in. He kills the guy
Why does
and
everyone just
looks like him.
sexually
and-
assault everyone in this earth?
Anyway.
It was a funny
I'm
show.
killing everybody
I'll
with
have
6
to start
people.
it because I don't
Mm.
really have anything.
Yeah,
to watch
I saw a preview for it. I thought it looked pretty funny because I like that actor.
Okay.
Alan's
Well, you
funny.
could come over.
What
We can
Nikolai
binge
was
it
saying
together.
was with the kung kung thing. He's like, oh, there's a murder in this town, kung kung. Like he's
He just says it.
He
does-
makes the noise.
yeah, he says it out loud. Everyone just looks at him. He's like, what is wrong with him?
Yeah. What guy's an alien or something?
does look
And
pretty good.
isn't there one kid who can see him for his
Yes.
true self?
He has a genetic thing, it's super rare in humans that they can see past their cloaking. And of course, he lands in the one town, doesn't even have a pizza place, but it has a kid that can see him.
All right, what's your
Okay.
game you're playing?
Pokemon Legends Arceus. I've been doing a lot of going through the story and everything else, but I've been mainly trying to catch shiny versions of Pokemon.
Ooh.
It's rough, but sometimes I actually got lucky and I got a few.
It's not as
That were
bad
the
as this one
same.
as in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to
They-
catch
so
25 the same.
One
in a
of the
row.
missions is a shiny.
Oh, okay.
So they literally give you one.
Oh, that's good.
It's Ponyta.
Usually
Yeah.
the shinies ain't that great.
And the thing is, like before I actually played this one, the only time I actually ever caught one was a shiny Ponyta in one of the other older games. And I was like, oh, that's awesome that they actually made a side quest for a shiny one. And so now the second shiny Pokemon I ever caught was a Ponyta again.
Is,
Yeah.
this,
So
is
it
this what
was-
you posted on our fan page? And it kind of looks like a black horse or something.
Well,
No, it's the
during
white horse with red flames for tail and hair.
Yeah,
It-
I think
like the image, like
was
it's
super
of
cute,
it evolving,
whatever it was.
but like I'm pretty sure it's like either like whitish, grayish, sort of.
The shinies are
Body.
yellow with blue flames.
It
No, it's
and
purple.
It has
for the
purple
evolved form.
flames for
Well, that's
evolved
Galarian.
form for Rapidash.
Oh, yeah, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
his blue and purple. Well, bluish. Blue
Yeah.
flames.
Oh,
Yeah.
What's your shirt?
My shirt is Fright Rags for Trick or Treat.
That's a cool one. Like it.
Favorite Muppet. I'm gonna have to go Rizzo.
Rizzo.
The rat, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
All right, Kelly.
what I have to plug, Andy plugged also Truth Behind Illusion on Tuesday, and with his Snallygaster, I'm also going to do a little bit on Marie Laveau, which was the voodoo queen of New Orleans, and give you a little background on her. I'm also going to plug Tornado Tag on Thursday. We are talking to Johnny Moran and Alex. Last name,
Watt.
sorry, Watt.
Line.
Line. On their movie and their movie coming out. So my shirt tonight, I don't have any Muppets, but I have the Peanuts gang. So and pretty much everybody's on it.
Yeah.
Is the dirty one on there?
No, I think Pigpen's the
No,
only one that's missing.
Well, I don't want to hear that
Peppermint-
everyone's on it if
Peppermint-
Pigpen's not on it.
Lucy,
No.
Peppermint Patty.
Peppermint Patty's on it.
What's his sister's name?
Linus, I mean.
No,
Who
I don't know.
There's no
Charlie,
Pigpen.
Charlie Brown's sister.
Throw
I
your
can't
shirt away.
remember what
Sit-
her name is.
Throw it away. When you get
Oh.
home, just burn it. No Pigpen, it doesn't
Lucy,
count.
but I don't know if that's right.
Woodstock's on it.
Lucy's in the hat.
Yeah, Lucy
Lucy's in a hat.
plays keep away with the ball.
Oh, okay.
I like.
Heidi.
Oh, my favorite
Uh,
Muppy is
Oh,
Kermit.
sorry.
It's
Kermit.
Kermit. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
I don't have a favorite. Muppet.
Because she hates them.
She hates
Yeah.
Muppets.
That's gonna be the
No, she
tagline
hates
for tonight's episode.
She's racist.
Heidi
hates
hates
them.
Kermit.
Yeah,
I mean Muppets.
Kermit. All the Kermits.
She's racist to Muppets. If she was in Happy Time Murder, she'd be murdering all the
Yeah.
Muppets.
Yeah. What else am I supposed to say? What am
Your
I?
plugs, yeah.
Your shirt.
Whatever you want to
Shirt,
say.
your
Fright
shirt.
Rag shirt. My Bloody Valentine. Not the 3D one.
Did you do your tradition this year?
I did. I watched last night. I watched the 3D one.
Yeah.
But it
minor-
wasn't in 3D. so-
Which you can get the Toonie Terrors figure of.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's fun. I want to do that. I'm
Hopefully it has
gonna
a head.
plug.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to plug Mother Bear's candy because I went there today and bought a lot of candy.
The new store. Did they get more soda in the cooler?
I didn't see any.
Oh.
I don't know. I didn't even see a cooler.
Well, they had a cooler in the old store. Maybe they
I
didn't
don't see
move
it.
over. Hopefully you
It's
get a new one.
smaller. Well,
Is it
kind
smaller?
of smaller. It looks smaller. Yeah, but everything's like there's stuff on the side and then the back and then in the middle. And
Oh,
I
okay.
said they have all the candy in like containers and you like
Yeah,
scoop
yeah,
them
yeah,
out now instead of how before they were just flat. They're
Yeah.
just like little containers.
Oh,
You get,
okay.
Like glove and
It's
like-
on 183, the McNulty Plaza.
yeah.
So,
So they have that all there, which is fun.
a lot of gummy candy there.
Yeah.
An old fashioned candy.
They have
so.
it set up now so you get your own.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And
Yeah.
then you weigh it. That's much
well, I
easier.
didn't feel a scale. You just pick it out.
Oh, I mean, they have
But
to get the price because they're
yeah.
all different
the
prices.
guy was very nice. He came in and was like, "This is what you do with the candy. And
Yeah.
use a glove instead of the tongs." And
All right. Anything else?
no, I'm not really watching too much lately.
All right. IWEP Network. Come check out our shows. Every Tuesday, we rotate this and Truth Behind Illusion.
Porcupine Pat episode.
All shows start at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock, the video for Porcupine Pat will drop.
Yeah.
Pokemon Pat.
Pokemon Pat.
Pokemon Pat.
Sorry.
The audio is up now.
Audio is up right now. And we want to thank Cabana Entertainment. So thank you guys for hosting us and allow us to use
No
your
problem.
facility.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
you did talk about your little Lego Harry Potter video. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Time lapse Lego Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Video.
So I've been doing a lot. Like that's what we originally were doing. We did a bunch of like stop motions where instead of like just showing the end result, every time I added a piece to the build, I take the picture so that it builds itself. There's a bunch more coming that have not been built. But for now, we're just kind of posting old ones.
So head over to iwepnetwork.com, check out the merch and Patreon and all that fun stuff. That's all I got. You also Thursday night, 8 o'clock, Tornado Tag. Sunday at 12, Bangin' Beers podcast. We're gonna drink beers and get silly and stupid. Thank you guys so much. Not Cool in High School. 103. We're out of here. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.